Okay, this is Aaron again with Exalted Lamb 1, and man, am I so excited in what I have for you right now. I cannot even say, so I'm going to go right into it as soon as I can. Now, I'm going to say this up front, why I have this, my thumbnail right up front here, because I have said this is solved on my thumbnail, but I'm going to say one caveat into this video. It's 99, as far as I am concerned, it's solved, 99%. 99% sure this is solved. However, it's just a guess. I don't know the future, all that stuff. Okay, it's so funny. If I've said in the past, I don't know the future, I don't have a crystal ball, whatever. Oh, do you talk about magic and blah, you know, it's just a figure of speech, people. Okay, you don't have to take every single thing as some kind of you know, secret little thing. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I don't know the future. Jesus gives me clues like anybody else. It doesn't spell it out completely, of course, but it gives me big clues. And as I'm going to show in this video, I'm going to share one of the for the first time a dream I had and some other stuff that I haven't shared before. So this is going to be massive. This may be one of my biggest and best works ever. So I'm very excited to share this with you. So let's get right into it. Okay, so if you want to get notifications on my channel and any new videos, sign up for Telegram right now. There's a link in the description box below. I'm also going to put up some links to previous videos that talk about my last time frame, okay, which was December 19th through January 1st. Now, this same time frame there's a hidden version of this same time frame. How could it be? How could it possibly be? Well, I've had a couple people, and I wish I could remember the lady's name. Maybe it was Anne. I don't remember. I'm sorry. I apologize. I had a couple of people mention a couple different things. One was my brother Timothy, and he said he talked about January 7th, and I just when he said that, and then another lady said, and I'm sorry, I can't remember if it was Anne or whoever. I apologize. Please forgive me. There's other things too the Lord was telling me, but then with these extras, she was saying about the Julian calendar, and I had immediately poo-pooed in my mind. But then when Timothy said December 7th is Orthodox Christmas, I about had a cow. I was blown away. So a lot of things rushed to my mind. I'd covered that time frame in the past, but I really didn't think about these things. So anyway, let me get right into all this. I have so much to share. This was supposed to be about half the time, about an hour. Now it's going to be closer to 2 hours probably. So let me get right into it. I'm so excited to share this. There's so much details in here that are just mind-blowing. So here we go. Now, I just want to say, also, another reason why this is so long is I had this crazy, amazing confab with my brother Constantine from Romania today. And this added a bunch because us together is like magic, or I would say God's power. I'll say that. I'll say God's almighty timing and power. The Lord just put it together so incredibly. And I'm going to show you what this is. It's just insane. So you will not believe some of this. So it ended up being closer to it's going to be closer to 2 hours. So let's keep going here. I cannot wait to get into this stuff. Okay, here we go. So the first thing I want to talk to you about and just put out there, because these guys need to be remembered, okay? And please, if you would, just share this video just for this. Please, I beg you, share this video for all the amazing stuff that's in it. But share this. People need to know this. Most people do not know that these guys here, I'm just going to say it that way, I'm saying code, but you see it how I presented in the wording, so it can't be, I don't know what these algorithms are like now. So if they can read what you show on the screen, probably. So I have to kind of change a little bit. But these guys, each one, I'm gonna say the first name: Ambrose, John, Jovenil, however you say that, Pierre, and Hamad. They were all eliminated for refusing what you see down there. Okay, the only leaders in the world, okay, that refused, and now they're all not here. Shocking. not shocking. I mean, I knew that. I pretty much knew that was going to happen, and every one of them was eliminated within the last year. So, and of course, right after they didn't accept this, the V and everything else. I mean, are you kidding me? So I want to remember these guys. You can look it up. You can see their names. You can look what they were head of, what so-called say country. I got to be very careful how I say this, because if this could be removed just because of this. So I'm just that's it. So I honor these men for having the cojones and having the faith to stand against when no one virtually else has stood against this. And here, in my mind, these guys are absolute heroes. And so I'm touting these absolute heroes for standing up against this. Whatever, I mean, maybe some of it was staged and stuff, I don't know. But I'm going to assume that their stance and their demise they go together. So, because I don't know the future, I don't know each person, of course, and all that stuff. So I don't know. When I said I know the future, I don't know what happened. I don't know, all that stuff. So, and who they are and everything. But if the stories are all right and everything, God bless them forever. So we need more people like this. No more people like this. And I'm thankful that this is almost over for people that are faithful and are standing up. Man, it's so awesome to see this. I could, to see people stand up and then, in a sense, be martyrs. Say that. Anyway, moving on here. Okay, so my last timeline was December 19th through the 31st, and then on to the 1st. But I'm showing it this way for a reason. So it's a 13/14 day. And I've vassled between the two. There's a reason why, because the evening of the 13th going into the 14th, it's kind of complex to talk about that right now. I'm not going to right now, and I have in the previous videos. But this is an example of the previous timeline. Now look at the 19th. That was my first day. Now I've said this for over 2 years, that the first day is the first day of the birth of the Antichrist, and I've also said that the Antichrist is Stinky B.O., the 44th Prez, and he is a Baphomet. He is a female body personified as a male. Okay, that's who he is. Yeah, okay, anyway, I call him all kinds of names. But anyway, whatever. And then what happened on the 19th to confirm my first day, like many of my days in the past, there's shadows of these exact days, of these exact first day, second day, fifth, fourth day, I mean, seventh and eighth day, I mean, all this kind of stuff. The first day was the birth of a baby Baphomet. And if you see here, Satanic Temple's holiday display coming back to Illinois Capitol Rotunda. And again, how do you connect that to Stinky B.O., the 44th Prez? Okay, because he stood at that rotunda many times in that Capitol. He was a senator from Illinois. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Do you not see that? That same day, there was a huge explosion in that area, and all these people didn't know what it was, because he's the Lord of Destruction. He's Apollo, the Lord of Destruction, of the bottomless pit and of destruction. That's Apollyon. Okay? Of course, there's going to be a massive explosion because it's destruction, and destruction has to do with his birth. And so that same day, there's a massive, huge, look it up, there's a huge explosion that people heard, and they had no idea what it was. Nobody knew. The authorities didn't say what, they didn't know what it was. Marking that day, and this thing, this sickness, this disgusting thing, and this guy is like the head of the Satanic Temple or whatever right there, whatever, this jackwagon here. Okay, anyway, so that proves my first day like crazy, okay, as far as, okay, for sure, being symbolic. It hadn't happened yet, and I knew about on the 20th that this whole process hadn't really happened to my satisfaction, or wasn't beginning really, okay, and then, by the way, a baby Baphomet is 666, what a shock. What a freaking shock. Okay, and then here, remember, I did these two, part 1 and part 2, about Gabby Petito is I Pet Goat Baby, or I Pet Baby Goat. What is that? That's a baby goat. Gabby Petito is an exact anagram for I Pet Baby Goat, and it was, this is just missing one A, because A is 1, and with the rule of Kalel, you can add a 1, which is also equal to A, or A is 1, to anything or take one or any away. So I added a 1, which equaled an A, and that whole, and Gabby Petito equaled exactly I pet baby goat. And there is a baby goat. Do you want to pet a baby goat? I don't. Not that baby goat. That's gross. Anyway, and then her so-called boyfriend, and again, she is the twin, the death of the twin. She is the Stinky BO version, and then there's the white version that's going to be birthed into heaven. This is the Revelation 12 sign behind her. She's going to be birthed into heaven. She's birthing a child as well, but she's also wearing white. She's the good, it's the bad. This is representing the evil. This is the yin and yang, and this is the evil side, which is Stinky BO, and then she died, okay? And then she is birthed, in a sense, or birthing. So this is they're holding a baby. And then her boyfriend, so-called, was Brian Laundrie, and an exact anagram on Brian Laundrie. There's several of them, actually, that I show in my video, but I launder brain, or brainwash, is what they're sharing as well. Nice and coded, isn't it? Brian Laundrie, and his name is, you say it just like that, Laundrie, because I heard him say it. Laundrie. I launder brain is what is that, because that's an exact anagram, not adding anything. Again, I just added a 1 or an A but that was required because I was looking at this. I'm really good at anagrams. I can find almost all kinds of messaging in anagrams. It's really, and I've shared some incredible ones over the last few years, some phenomenal ones. Anyway, and here we go. It's just crazy. And then plus, what is she holding? They're both holding the fruit of their actual baby. There's a couple of different examples of that. This red apple, and I'm going to show you what red apple is. Okay, I'm not going to tell the thing about the pumpkin right now, but anyway, so the red apple I'm going to show you a little bit, but it's in La Palma. It's in the Palm, the island that's going to go, and I'm saying this island could go re-erupt on the 1st. I'm not going to get into it right now. Actually, I don't think I have a slide for it, so I might as well. I'm predicting possibly that to start off this first day, which will be January 1st, I'm going to say that this could start going off again, because they basically, it's crazily, on December 25th, a few days ago, they declared that it stopped erupting, the volcano on La Palma Island. I mean, are you kidding me? On Christmas. Okay, that's not a coincidence. Okay, I don't think so. And it started erupting on 9/19, which is, again, the first day. 9/19 is 10/19, is 11/19, is 12/19. And that was my first day. Again, baby born from La Palma, the palm. It's in the baby's in the palm. See, the palm. That's what La Palma means, the palm. It's not palm trees, it's the palm. Translated exactly from Spanish, it's the palm. Okay, here we go, and keep going here. That's all a coincidence? I don't think so. Okay, so December 19th through the 31st is the previous time frame I had, but it still is valid. Why? How? 13 days later on each day is the 1st through the 13th of January. Okay, it lines up perfectly, and I've never seen this. On all my time frames, I kicked out the Julian calendar. I was really studying it up to about a year and a half ago as a possibility, and I got rid of the idea because it wasn't, whenever you had these possible dates, 13 days later would mess up the whole numerology of each day. But this is the first time I ever seen this as a possibility. It completely translates from the Julian to the Gregorian exactly, and let me show you that. So again, what's going to happen in December on the Julian is what's going to happen in January on the Gregorian. So we're on the Gregorian, as most people know. Most of the population is on, of course. And so when it hits the 1st, back 13 days earlier, in a sense, is December 19th. So that's going to be the same day. It's happening at the same time. So when we have January 1st, it's going to be really, on the Julian calendar, December 19th. Hopefully that makes sense. So everything that was forecast to happen on these days hasn't happened yet. It will happen on these days. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. It's like a time warp. It's like they've created this time warp where they went back into the 1700s, I think it was, if I remember right. I forget what it was exactly, what years, what it was. But then they changed from the Julian. They were on the Roman way back, and then they went to the Julian, and then they went to the Gregorian back in 14 something or 15, 17 something. I can't remember, 1754 or something like that. But that's all a ploy because the elites are still on the Julian and the Roman calendar, and I'm going to show that. Okay, so basically, what I mean to say is that on the Julian, when it's the 19th on the Julian, it'll be the first. And again, 1 plus 9 is 10. Take away the 0 is 1. And then I'm going to also say, I'm going to predict possibly, again, this is all possibility, and I'm going for finally the thing that I thought might happen on the 19th could happen on the 1st. They may introduce this, the T and then the very and then the ant, or the T and then the ow and then the very and then the ant. I'll say it that way. Okay, so again, see how 1 plus 9 is 10, they take away all zeros, and then that equals 1. And then to make my point again, 2 plus 2 in December on the Julian, 2 plus 2 equals 4, which would be the 4th on the Gregorian. And then 2 plus 3 would be 5, and so forth. 2 plus 5 is 7, 2 plus 6 is 8, 2 plus 9 is 11. Okay, let's keep going like that. 2 plus 9 is 11, and then 3 is a composition of 1 plus 2. And again, it now goes a little bit backwards, but 1 plus 2 is now 3, and then this one's completely backwards. 31 ends up being 13. So this is, if you understand this at all, this is really crazy. The way how this works out, being 13 days later, and it doesn't work out most of the time. Most of the time in the year, it does not work out. And at least all the ones I looked at in the past 3 years, there may have been a 1 or 2 I missed, but for all the other time frames, they did not work out this way. They did not make this, and so that's a big reason why I didn't consider this until now. This is phenomenal stuff right here. Okay, I got so much more. Okay, so now let's look at the 23rd equaling the 5th. Okay, and look at it like a time warp. Okay, so in one reality, it's December 23rd. In another reality, it's January 5th, but they're the same day. Okay, it's just weird. That's why they do all this time warp stuff in movies and TV and all that kind of stuff now, because they're kind of setting this up secretly. Okay, so what's going to happen on the 23rd or the 5th, depending on which calendar you're looking at, is AT&T Verizon agreed to C-band power limitations for 6 months. And so basically, on January 5th, they're going to do this, launch this, okay? And it's this right here, below this right there, is the 5 and then the A, B, C, D, F, G, which is really 5. I'm going to show you in a second here. But, okay, and I've always said for over 3 years that is going to kick off about 2.5 years, the zombie apocalypse, okay? What's going to happen with that? They're going to click on the switch. The people who got the hokey pokey are going to start turning, they're going to lose their minds, they're going to go crazy. It's in a lot of movies. They're going to lose their minds and kill people. They're going to walk around like zombies, or they're going to kill themselves, or it's like the movie The Happening, they just kill themselves. The movie like Kingsman, they kill other people. Movies like all the zombie movies, they end up walking around and just, eventually some are slow ones, some would be fast rage monsters. It'll just vary because people are different. I know this is just crazy stuff to say, but it's the way it is. So here, boom. So again, 5 ABCFG is really 5, and then that's 7, okay? And what is 5, 7? It is birth, okay? That's what it's secretly showing. So January 5th, how was January 5th? Again, remember I showed you the 5th was above, or 23rd was above, back here. Okay, 23rd was above, and 5. How are they 23rd? How is 23rd 5? 23, 5. Of course, 2 plus 3 is 5, of course, but how is it also? And they're going to give you clues all over the place. So January 3rd spelled out is 1, 2, 3 in the English ordinal, which is what? Decem, or December is decem, Latin for 10, decem, take away the 0, decem 23 is January 5th. That just happens to be that way. And then, so that's 1023, take away the 0, it's 1, 2, 3. It's also, 1, 2, 3 is also hidden I, 2, 3, which is I is the 9th letter of the alphabet. So it's 923. Again, that's that same number. Okay, January 5th spelled out as F-I-F-T-H is 185, which is 1 plus 8 is 995. And again, look, 95 is 923 because 2 plus 3 is 5. So see how 23 is 5? And you see how 9 is 10? It's also 11th month and the 12th month in the Gregorian, okay? It's just crazy. And now it keeps going. And then this thing that I'm not going to even say it, the C and then the thing called band that they're turning on or whatever, right? It literally, if you break this down right down here, 1 plus 4 is 9, and then you have a 1 there, and then you have a 2, and then you have a 3. And look, that is backwards. That's 9. You can look at it 2 ways, 9/23, or you could take it away, 3 ways. Or you could take the 1 away with the rule of Kalal, add or take away 1 anytime you want, so that's 923, or 9 plus 1 1 plus 9 is 10, and then 23. Okay, so again, this is on January 5th, but this is spelling out 1023. And this is spelling out 1023, which is also 923, which is also 95. Again, I'm showing you how these are the same thing. So this is the time warp. They love doing this so they can show you many things that don't have to do with the day that are other than that day, but they equate to that day secretly. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so then back to, so again, the 23rd is the 5th. The 5th is the 23rd. Does that make sense? And on different calendars. This is crazy. It's really nuts. And then in January is, to the elites, the 11th month. December is Decem, which is 10 in Latin. And then January is the god Janus, but it's right after December, so it is the 11th. And by the way, Janus is the god of transitions, beginnings and ends. And so that would make sense that the end of all of this age, this order, this time would be, and the transition to the next age, the new age, would be January, Janus. And I've shared that in previous years before. Okay, so then I've also shared how the 5th day, or the 23rd day, with 2 plus 3 is 5, or 5th day, is the day of the 144. I mean, it's all over. I'm just going to give you one example here because that's apropos for that day. The 5th day, January 5th, which is also December 23rd on the Julian, is 144, that thing that they're going to turn on. 144, hello, that's when I'm saying that the 144 would be transformed. And it's all, I have tons of 144s about all this stuff I've shared over time. And then C thing equals 666. Are you kidding me? And then look at this in here. Look at right here. C is right here. See that? C, just C by itself is this. See that? Okay, so this is really thought through by demonic forces. Okay, sorry if you don't realize that, but you need to wake up to that, because the people that are doing this goes back hundreds and hundreds and even thousands of years. And what runs through all that time, and all these people that have lived, and all these elite that have given birth to the next elite, they're all motivated and moved by demons, and that's it, because they're the master intelligence behind this. People can't come up with this by themselves. They cannot. Okay, another thing I'm going to share with you that's phenomenal. When did this thing start? The plan, and then demic, I'd like to say. Okay, when does that start? March 11th. Okay, right there. Okay, 2020, right? Now, if you go from that day, March 11, 2020, to this day, which I'm saying is the day where the first attack is zombie day, all that kind of stuff, go from that day to this day, what do you get? You get, so again, March 11, 2020 to January 5th, 2022 is what? Booyah! Okay, and then let's look at a different way as well. Remember the 9.5 and the 9.23 I've been showing you all the time? If you remove it, you untick that box, you get rid of 1 day. See how that's down here? It says 95 weeks and 1 day. You untick that box right there. You untick this box so you don't include the end date, and it's just 95 weeks, which is 9.23 or 9.5. Remember I showed you all the 9.5 and how 1.5 is 9.5. Anyway, this is all planned meticulously for years and years and years and years and years, a long time ago. Okay, I'm telling you. And then I've shared about the Lord's perfect sign, which is phenomenal. What's one of the most amazing things, and I forgot to throw it on here. I really did. Oops. I forgot to throw it on here. One of the most amazing things about the Lord's perfect sign is, you know what? I'm going to wait on that a little bit. How it shows twins. But literally, what you have on this side is mirrored by this side, but the same number of days, these different eclipses, okay, and these different blood moons, exactly mirrored, which is perfect. It makes this midpoint perfect, and it's impossible. It couldn't just happen. It had to be designed. And then each one of these eclipse paths are exactly mirrored of the other one. They're an exact mirror of the other one. It's just, phenomenal. I've shared this on a previous video, like maybe 2 years ago, more. I don't know. It's phenomenal. But this was the point I wanted to make on this. Okay, so these are the blood moons, and this is when I actually really woke up, just somewhere in this time, right between here. It was actually and as far as the end time stuff, Lord gave me dreams and visions, and I'll talk a little bit about that. But it really started in the summer, right here, and before this, of course, the last one. But so this is the exact midpoint of these massive blood moons, which are a massive statement. I'm going to show you what this statement is. You decide, but I'm telling you, this is phenomenal. There's no way this could be. Okay, so the exact midpoint of these blood moons is the January 5th, if I could talk, January 5th, 2015. When I was just talking about January 5th, okay? Hello? Okay, boom. right before that, all the way to the very first blood moon, to that midpoint is 266 days. So from the first blood moon to the midpoint, 266 days. And then Booyah just happens to be from that midpoint to the last one is 266 days. And again, what's the significance of 266? Not only is 266 two sixes and 1 6, see that? 2 6s and 1 6, which is 666. So that's one thing that is showing the birth of the Antichrist, which is 666. It's also showing the man-child, which is the opposite to that, which is going to be birthed into heaven, like the Revelation 12 sign had foretold in the future. And how far in the future? Well, I'm showing you what I think it might be here. And there's a lot of support for this. It's insane. So this is showing the twin birth. This is the gestation period of a twin. Okay, 266 days. By the way, in Strong's Concordance, Strong's 266 in Greek is sin. And when man was first born, which is 266 days, also consists of, if you don't add the first 14 days of the what do you call it? I guess I'm trying to think of the conception. The first 14 days of conception, then you add it to the 266, it end up being 280, which is the normal gestation period of one human being. That's the average, right? So 266 is when man was first born, which was, but there was also twins. Twins were born to Adam and Eve, were Cain and Abel, and the first murder was from one twin to the other, and that's this twin to the other twin. 266 days of gestation, and the other one's 266 days of gestation. So they're both pointing to a midpoint of a birth point right here. These don't have, the only thing that this has in common with this is they're both pointing to the center point. So this must be a birthday symbol. Okay, that's what logic dictates and all that. So this is what I'm going to show. This is phenomenal. So if that is a birthday, 1/5/2015, and then I'm saying, wow, I'm just talking about this right now, 1/5/2022 here, right? When we're talking about when they're going to turn that on and other stuff going on. That's exactly 7 years. Well, is God into sevens? Yes, so much. And then I've shared my timeline as well. Now let me get into this. Also, January 5th is to the elites. Again, January is Janus, but it's also the 11th month after December, which is January is 11, okay? It's the 11th month after December, which is 10, okay? So January 5th is 11/5. That's a huge code I've been talking about a long time. In fact, I was born on May 29th, which is 5/11. My daughter was born on 11/5. My wife is born on a code for this. My son is born on some kind of code for this. I'm not getting into all those right now. And then my children, my twins that were born, because I talked about this before my twins were even conceived, and then God gave me twins, because this is my message. It's insane. My twins were born on May 10th, and they came home 5/11. I mean, there's no way you can plan this or make this up or anything. I mean, and I'm going to get into more about that. This is insane. So 1/5 is 11/5 hidden. Okay. Now, this is really phenomenal. So basically, what's up with that? So when Earth is closest and farthest from the sun in 2022, did you know that Earth reaches its closest point to the sun about 2 weeks after December solstice? It happens on January 4th, 2022. So this is a hidden fact. It is off by 14 days. This is showing you. The solstice is showing you that, or the solstice is when the light is the same amount of light as darkness, but the thing that matters to the elite is where the sun is. Okay, and I'm going to show this to you, for example. So it is off in a sense by 14 days, or remember the Julian was 13, and if you go sometimes, so when you complete 13 days, in 1 millisecond, you're in the 14th day. So it's two ways of saying the same thing. Or if you have 14 days and you include that day, that's still 13 days of time. Hopefully that makes sense. If you have 14 days but you include the first day, like you do anytime you use a calendar, or when you're going from day to day and figuring out how many days, when you include the first day, that is 14 days. When you don't include that first day, it's 13 days. So it's just weird how they deal with this, and they kind of mess with people on this. But January 4th is very important because we're talking about the 4th and the 5th. So the 4th or the 5th, and it depends on what time zone you're in if you hit the 4th or the 5th, but they're both a birthday. It's just crazy. Again, January 4th is the birth of the sun because it's when the sun is its closest. Now, let me show you this. So basically, January is perihelion. That's when the sun is closest to the earth. Okay, whether you believe this, whatever and all that, it's still a fact that this is the timing and everything. Whether you think this is flat and all that, whatever, I don't care. And I just don't get into the subject. Whatever. I haven't really studied it, so I'm kind of agnostic on it a bit. Whatever. I'm not getting into it, but that's not the point. The point is that this is what they believe. That's the point, okay? So January is perihelion. That's when the sun is closer. So they worship the sun god. It's all about the sun god. So this is a hidden thing. I mean, how many people knew this? And I didn't know this until recently. It's crazy. And it's literally a 2-week deception. And this is really what matters. And then why, on God's green earth, why is this a big deal? Because that's when it's farthest away from the earth. The sun's farthest away from the earth. And do you recognize this date? Do you think that we celebrate our independence? Your independence from the sun? The independence from the sun, in a sense, independence from, in a sense, God, in a sense? Well, that's what independence really means. It means independence from God. I mean, if you understand the spiritual implications of that, that's what it really means. And ultimately, it's kind of a play on this, but this is the only reason why it is July 4th. The only reason why the so-called country was founded on that day is because it's independence from God. It's what it really is. That's it. And whether you look at the sun god or not, but and eventually they would look at the day that it would happen. It would begin on the day the sun was closest. Hopefully that makes sense. And then so as a result, they throw all this stuff like, I'll give you an example, like the movie Independence Day, explosions and aliens and all that kind of stuff, right? Destruction. And that's just a mirror of the real day. They'll show it here, but it's really over here. How many times have things been blown up on 4th of July or shown on, I mean, it's even in iPad Goat. I mean, they show the explosions. So, but it's really showing this. It's really showing this secretly because this relates to this. This is like the twin of this. This is like the bad twin. This is the good twin. Or this is the good twin. This is the bad twin. Whatever. So it's just one point is kind of hiding the other. Hopefully that makes sense. It's just crazy. Hey, back to here. So again, the 4th, and then that was the 4th. Over here, January 4th, and then we have the 5th. And I've been talking about the 4th and the 5th are the days when the first attack and all these things begin, really. Okay, there's going to be some hints on the first day, okay? And I'm saying it's going to be January 1st. And anyway, so also, Alyssa, if you're able to put up that my timeline in the comments, please do that. She has had issues with it in last videos or whatever video. You can put that with the new dates. Again, you know the dates, January 1st through the 14th, and you know the dates and everything. If you're able to, or if not, let me know in those comments there on the ones where you put them up. Because I didn't put them up here because I didn't want to go through the whole thing and put in all the correct dates and everything. Because there's just too many things that are happening. So I will put all the events and the date as soon as I can, or as she can, or whatever. I'm going to put every day and all the events of that day. I don't do a graphic anymore because it's just too many things that I have to spell out. So I do it a different way. So I'll list it at the top of comments. I'll post it at the top of comments, or pin it at the top of comments. Is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so you can see them, or go back on my videos and just look at the last few, and you can see those. They're posted on top of comments, or even they're in my last 2 videos, I think. And then you just go, December 19th is really 1 + 9 is 10 with 0, so that's January 1st. And so you all know all the events. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm saying it kind of fast, but if you need to slow me down, you can go to hit the little 3 buttons on the top of the screen, and you can slow me down or speed me up. Most people want to slow me down, but whatever. Okay, here anyway. So we're going to go do the same thing. So how we went from center, even though I'm pointing to the middle from these two, this actually time is going out from here and time is going out from here in a sense. But so I'm going to do it the same way. To give you an example how this is so applicable to the birthday as well as this is, I'm going to go from this point right here and go backwards 266 days to a date in time that's 266 days previous to this day. And what is substantial about that? Bam! 2 massive things that happen on April 15th. By the way, 266 days earlier from this date is April 15th. And you can pick any year. It doesn't matter. This is so substantial for them. And I'm going to show you why. April 15th. Lincoln killed Lincoln died, and he died at 7/22. What's 7/22? July 4th. Again, 2 plus 2, the 22nd equals 4. July 4th. And what's July 4th really? January 4th. Okay, dude, does that make sense? Because this is what they show, and then what it really is the opposite side. Remember the perihelion and aphelion? Remember that one? Okay, so this is July 4th over here, but it's really January 4th over here. Does that make sense? Okay, and then the Notre Dame fire was on April 15, 2019. Are you kidding me? And why is that important? Oh, there's so much to that. Now, look, even there was more than that. It wasn't just the Notre Dame fire. It was a Al-Aqsa Mosque fire on the same day. If you believe that's a coincidence, wow, you need to check yourself. That a very important, extremely important, one of the most important locations to all Muslims was on fire, as to one of the most important locations to all Catholics was on fire. One of the most important to all Catholics was on fire at the same day. If you think that's a coincidence, wow, then just turn off the video right now. Okay, bye-bye. See ya later. But if you want to see that it's not coincidence, anything that's such a crazy coincidence like that is all proven, and it's all factual, and it's all designed by people behind the scenes and demons, and then keep going here. Okay, so now check this out. What is in this? We're right off the bat. What's Al-Aqsa? 666. And then what is Notre Dame Cathedral fire? 205. What's 205? Remember I showed you earlier about the 2-5? No, I haven't showed you yet. That's coming. But so I'll give you an idea. 2 is hiding 1 plus 1. And so 2 is hiding 11.5. So again, remember that points back to 266 days ahead of time, or this is pointing backwards 266 days. So it's pointing to 11.5, which is January 5th. These are pointing to the birth. It's the birthday of this. The birthday of this. And there's so much more in this. I'm just going to keep going, keep rolling here. Okay, so this guy was born. You see, that's an opening. He's going through a female area. And you see the water behind him is a tsunami. In fact, when he comes through, there's a demon head or the devil head on top, and it shakes quite a bit. And that's tsunamis are going to happen, and then massive earthquakes. And then that's going to be his ultimate birth, which is on the 11th day, which is lightning falling from heaven. Barack Obama in Hebrew. We know who that is. Okay. And then you have the death Anubis right here. And all that, but he's going to be coming to life right here, coming through the female area right here. Okay, right? So then here he is. How does this tie back? Okay, so this is the cathedral. This is the Notre Dame Cathedral. Not completely obvious. Okay, they don't make it super obvious, of course. And it's got a little cross and everything. It's got the big stained glass window right here and all that, just like the. And then look right here. This, and I've shared this in the past, but it's been a while. There's the barbed wire crown, in a sense. It's right there, and then as this thing, as it starts falling apart, see, as it starts falling apart right here, boom, the crown is gone. See, the crown is gone. Well, what happened? If you remember the information about the Notre Dame Cathedral fire, you know that there was a priest or somebody that was in there when it started fire, supposedly. Again, this is all the story. It's all fake story right here. Now, go boom. The crown, the crown of thorns that supposedly Jesus had. I don't believe they had the real one, but I mean, it's ridiculous that was been preserved that long. I mean, and they would actually have, maybe. I mean, Catholic Church has a lot of stuff. They're hiding a lot of stuff, so maybe. But I think that the story is just very convenient. But this guy, which I don't believe one bit, of course, but this guy saved the crown of the Jesus's crown that was supposedly the real crown, that was crown of thorns. And he saved it right before the fire happened. And that shows you right here, because here comes the destruction right here. And then the crown's gone. It's taken before it goes down. Now, see, now it's going down. See? Now watch. If you don't know this, you might know this if you've been looking at this stuff for a while, or my channel. But see how the spire fell right here? Right there? It's exactly the way it fell. All programmed by the actual fire. And exactly the way it fell and everything. It's incredible. And then on top of that, see, this is just crumbling. It doesn't show you a fire, but the fire is in his eyes. Look at the fires in his eyes. And so it's on fire, but you don't see that. So that's, again, another way they hide this stuff. And I'm just here to show you how they hide it, okay? Man, I got to take a drink here. Hold on a second. Okay, so why am I showing you this? Because again, this is when the Antichrist comes out. This is his birth, and again, remember, this is the day that it burned on 4/15, which was 266 days before. Okay, January 5th, as I just showed you. Okay, boom, boom, go back, right? January 5th. January 5th, right here, January 5th. Go back 266 days, and that takes you to April 15th. The death of Lincoln, again, that's the death of the United States, because Lincoln was the head of the United States. So it's forecasting the future death or first attack of the United States. Okay, I'm telling you, that's what this is all about. It's all symbolic. Oh, I got a little bit dry throat. I even took a good drink here. Anyway, here we go. So hopefully that makes sense. So boom, boom, boom. Okay, and then so he's revealed. He's coming out. He's been birthed. He came out of the birth canal. And so this would show you his birth right here. Destruction and fire, because he's the Lord of destruction, Apollyon, and all that, and Abaddon and everything. And this was the day that's 266 days before the first destruction day that's coming. Okay, I mean, that's crazy. Yeah. Okay. So here's another example showing how when the fire really started here. Or maybe I think it was still going. I think the spire went down. Yeah, that's what happened. And then you have this scene right here. Do you see what's right here? I mean, I have the spiritual eyes, thank God, but thank the Lord Jesus and thank God. Okay, so do you see what's in this? Do you see what's here? Do you see this image here? I mean, I was looking back through pictures, and I could not believe what I saw. And then also, based on what I know, and I'm going to show you what I know from the past and when this happened, all that, but do you see what's in here? Do you see this figure? Do you see a person here? Look at this and kind of squint your eyes a little bit and look at this. Look at it kind of up close and squint your eyes a little bit. It is a knight with a funky helmet kneeling down. You can see his arm on the side. There's an arm on the side right here. It's kind of bent down. He's got a sword right here. He's got his arm bent down, and he's got like this the cross right here, and he's got his leg bent, kneel down right there. There's kind of his leg right here is kneel down. I'm serious. This is so crazy. Literally, they staged this 100% to have all this stuff, because this scaffolding, the way it's destroyed, is making this symbol, and the way the fire is burning. It's not a coincidence. Now, let me give you an example. See, that's what that's showing. Now, this picture is it's a three-dimensional image, or it's a sculpture or whatever, but you kind of seeing it from up top. Now, if you just turn this thing to the side and then just look at it exactly from the side, it's almost showing exactly what this is. Look at that helmet. Look at that. Look at the helmet. Look at it to the right of this thing. Look at that. You can see the eye holes right there. You can see the shape of the helmet here. You can see the swords right here. You can see the arm bent right here. You can see the arm bent right here. You can see this cross thing. You can see the leg down here. It is phenomenal. I'm telling you, people, I'm sorry if you can't see it, but it is there. It is clear as it can be. That is no way all those things could be coming together like that. And to know what I know. Now, what do I know about this? When I went through this again, I was like, I didn't even know this was here, but what I know about this? Well, this guy named Leo Zagami, he was a former Mason and stuff, and he was in the Catholic Church, and then now he's exposing it. As far as I know, he could be part of it, and then he could be controlled opposition and all that kind of stuff. That happens a lot. But I'm just going by what his article is. As the Cathedral Notre Dame collapsed, overwhelmed by flames, a strange event occurred in the upper part of the cathedral. Right before the eyes of millions of viewers, a mysterious figure materialized, dressed very much like a Templar knight in a white turban, which was in use in the Middle Eastern commanderies, whatever, of the Knights Templar in in the 8th century. No, sorry. That's the 13th century. Sorry. 13th century. Okay? Look at this. You see that figure? Now I'm going to go like that. You can kind of see the figure, but I'm going to show you actual video if you haven't seen this. This is crazy. And I refound it because I almost couldn't find it, and I refound it. I had to go back to Twitter and stuff. But I remember seeing this. Somebody had shared this, anyway. And there's a lot of history to this. I'll talk about it in a second here. So watch this. Ready? Okay, so this guy, see, he's walking right here. You see that? Okay, again, I will show it again. I'll show it several times. He's up there. You can just watch him walking, and he's got that white schmuck or whatever that is. He's got the helmet. He's got like dark imaging right there. You can see boom right there. It's got the helmet's kind of shiny. Watch it again. Helmet's kind of shiny right there. It is a Knights Templar, and he's going through a red door on purpose. Look at that red door right there. See that red door? It's definitely red. Look at the fire over on the right here. Okay, he is a Knights Templar, and he does it really quick. It might have been Trump. Anyway, I'm not going to get... Trumple's a Knights Templar, and I'm going to get into that in a second here. But, and I've really showed a lot of ways he is. I mean, one more time here. Hopefully you can see that. Okay. You see that? See that? What he's wearing right there is white. And I can almost pause it. Let's see if I can pause it right on this spot here. Okay, see that? What he's wearing? There's a shiny helmet there and white. Anyway, let's keep it playing here. You can see it again. Look really close again. And again, that's when the fire's happening. And he's right up there, and it was caught. Of course, it's caught on purpose. Of course, it's all, ooh, what's that? Oh, and then there's this mystery behind it and all this stuff. Because they're all behind it. They caused this. The elite caused this. They wanted you to know that there's forces behind it, and it's a show. But you don't know exactly what's going on. People are like, what's that? We're going to be, someone's up there. Someone just messing around or whatever. No, it's all theater. It's all rituals and everything else. Okay, so, go past this. Oops. Okay, so, he exited, as you can see, the red door. See that? That's all part of this. Again, so many things. People have said to me, oh, iPad Goat, it's just an animated, or just a cartoon. It's just a cartoon. I can't tell you how many hundreds of times I've heard that. It's just a cartoon. You know what? This so-called cartoon has got so many things, like I just showed you about the Antichrist and the Notre Dame, and here he's walking through a red door. I mean, are you kidding me? And that represents birth. Again, here it is. Red door is open, exit, birth. She's dropping the apple. She's pained to be delivered. She's having a baby. Okay. Squeeze me, baking powder. I mean, seriously. And the Antichrist in a boat, he comes out of the opening, and then right behind him, the cathedral crashes, and that happened on the 15th of April, which is 266 days with the gestation period of a twin before 1/5, and it just happens to be that way? No, I don't think so. It doesn't make any sense. Now, let's just keep going with that. What is red door? 474. He went through a red door. Okay, what's 474? Barak, and then Bama. Okay, lightning falling from heaven in Hebrew, who happens to be the 44th Pres. Are you kidding me? Which is also a mere date of 7/4. 7/4/7/7/4. 4th of July, July 4th. Darkness. The side where the sun isn't as close is 7/4. He is a mirror of 4/7/7/4. That's a coincidence? No, I don't think so. And you can believe it or not. If you believe, I'm bringing the evidence. If you go, there's so many people. I mean, I show so much evidence where they should at least say, oh, there might be something to this, or oh, there's something. They're like, give me, you're crazy. I mean, just give me a break, man. I'm bringing it. I'm bringing it so much. And then exactly equals in English Gematria, Akhenaten and red door. And I've shown you how Obama's Akhenaten. I'll show you again in another context. And then, look, red apple is 474 too. Red apple and red door just happened to be 474. Hey, I want to also thank, again, Constantine, man, brother, the timing on this. I appreciate you so much, as I just told you earlier today. But, man, the way we work together, I am so blessed by the Lord. And everybody else, like Timothy, man, some of the things you shared, it just opened up a whole new world. Okay, anyway. And then look, Notre Dame is 9-5 or 9-2-3. Remember, 10-2-3 is 9-2-3 is 11-2-3 is 12-2. 9-5. Knights Templar is 9-5 upside down and backwards. You take 6-5 upside down and backwards is 5-9. Jacques de Molay was the Templar that was killed in front of the Notre Dame Cathedral in 1314. 13th century, right? It said 13th century, but I thought that's the 14th century, whatever. Anyway, whatever. But Jacques de Molay, the guy who was killed, he was a Knights Templar, and he was killed by the Catholic Church in front of Notre Dame, and that's what they're showing as well. It's like their revenge against the Catholic Church, but they're part of the Catholic Church. They were the militant arm of the Catholic. They were the secret militant arm of the Catholic Church, as well as the So the Knights Templar are, and that's Trumple is one of those. I'm going to show in a second here some of the things, even though I showed a bunch of some in the past. And then also the, what's the Pope? The new Pope is a, yeah, Jesuit. He's a Jesuit. Militaristic, secret, just in everything, behind the scenes, moving all this stuff. I mean, it all goes up there. It all goes up there. In their case, crap rolls uphill. And they're at the top. The crap's at the top. Okay, sorry, but it's just what it is. I could be far more whatever. Okay, so Jacques de Molay. Okay, 56 is exactly upside down and backwards 95. And that exactly matches Notre Dame. That's not planned. That's not planned. Please. Okay, so Jacques de Molay, boom. He's got a plaque, right? There's a plaque right here about him being killed in 1314. Right, and there's Notre Dame right there. It's just right on this bridge, and there's Notre Dame right there. That's the spire that was there. Now it came down, or now it may not still be there anymore. Maybe they rebuilt it. I don't know, but that was before it fell down. Anyway, let's read this a little bit. So, Dr. Molay's goal as Grand Master was to reform the order and adjust it to the situation of the Holy Land during the waning days of the Crusades. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to get into that. Had Molay and many other French Templars arrested in 1307. Again, 4774. So remember Lincoln was killed, Lincoln died at 722 or 74. When was Reagan shot? He was shot at 2:27 in the afternoon. 227, which is 47. We have another 47. So they were arrested and tortured or killed like the president and shot like Reagan on 47 or 74. And CBO is 474. I mean, give me a break. To make false confessions. Then Molay later retracted his confession. Philip had him burned up on a scaffold on an island in the River Seine in front of Notre Dame in March 1314. What's 1314? I've seen this so much in Gematria regarding Trumple. 1314 is 45. 1 plus 3 is 4. 1 plus 4 is 5. 45 is, and the 45th president is Trumple. And I want to prove that. He's a Knights Templar in so many ways. I've proven it out actually several ways. But look, hey, check it out. See, that's Don Trumple Jr., which is a version of the senior, because he has the exact same name, but he's junior. And yeah, they're showing Hillary in prison, right? But he's really pointing to he's a Knights Templar. And then he tweeted this, or this is on his Instagram. He might have tweeted this, but this was on his Instagram. I mean, the Templar cross? Are you kidding me? And he's shown many things. Even Trumple has shown stuff and said stuff. He's a crusader, all this kind of stuff. And they are that. Believe it or not. Okay, you don't have to believe me. That's just what it is. Now let's go 266 days this way. See if we can find some symbolism for that day, whatever day that is. What day is it? It's September 28th. Are you ready for this? Y'all ready for this? Because remember, this day has to do with the hokey pokey, has to do with zombified people and all that. Hokey pokies, okay? Hokey pokles. The Hocus Pocus. What is the other one I called it? I had another one I called it. The Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus. The Hocus Pocus. That's what I called it also. I like the hokey pokey a little bit more because you do the hokey pokey and if they knock you to the ground. Anyway, I forget what I had on that. It was kind of funny. Okay, so this is not funny because what major massive event happened in history that has to do with what we're going through right now? Read it. The Spanish Are you kidding me? You know what happened? If you don't know this, a guy named Daniel Cannon on Logic, and then it's called Before, and then it's called Authority, did quite an expose, and he nailed it. Literally back then is when they first turned on radio, and then I'll say frequent, and then I'll say C. Radio, frequent, and then C. I don't know, I just got to figure out how to break it up or something because of these stupid Al Gore. Yeah, you know, Al Gore's dancing, so it's some Al Gore and then rhythms, you know. I know it's not a pretty sight, not at all, but, you know, it is what it is. Okay, so, but back then, Look, read this. This is so crazy. In the world, I'm gonna just kind of paraphrase a little bit. In the world's first blank epidemial thing in history, called this Spanish, and then the thing, because the first major outbreak causing multiple deaths was in blank, an estimated 30 million. What? Because they turned on the juice. And a lot of bodies, for the first time, didn't have any of that. They couldn't respond to radio, and then the frequency, and then the C, and then it killed them or did horrible things to them. And then look, it says Philadelphia was the hardest hit, and that's not a coincidence. And then look, after the Liberty Loan Parade on September 8th, thousands of people became infected. Look, 12,000. When I see this, I'm just like, oh my, you gotta be kidding me. I mean, I'm reading between the lines like crazy. Look at this. Philadelphia is one of the churches, and what I've said, remember I just said earlier about the 144 on the 5th day? Okay, this is all pointing to the 5th day, like I said, because it's 266 days in the future, a future date from the 5th, and Philadelphia is the Philadelphian church, and I've said 1,000 times on my videos, the Philadelphian church is the faithful church, and those are the ones that are going to be the 144. Oh my gosh, it's right here. And then how many members are there in each tribe? 12,000. Is that a coincidence? And it's referring to the exact same day? Because if you go 266 days in the future, you get to 1-5 or 11-5? No. And then look at Liberty Loan Parade. Now let's look at this. There's even more here. Look at Liberty Loan Parade is what? 178 in English Ordinal. What is it hiding? 1, and then 7 plus 8 is 15, or 11-5. It's predictively programming you to 11-5. Liberty Loan Parade. It was just made up for that. Guaranteed. Man, I'm getting this. Woo! I'm on. Oh, on fire. Whoa. Wow, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. I give all credit to Jesus. And I also thank, who I already thank. Who I thanked already. But thank you, Lord Jesus. You are so awesome. And then look at this. Philadelphia is 223. You know that 322 is also 223, which is hiding. What is it hiding? The first 2 is hiding 1 and 1. And then 2 plus 3 is 5. Remember 2-5 or 205 I showed you earlier was hiding 1 and 1 and then 5. And then 223 is hiding 115 because the first 2 is 1 plus 1. Because if you take 1 plus 1, because you can also go backwards. 1 plus 1 obviously is 2. Or what if you have 2 towers? And let's say you have 2 big towers. What is that telling you? It's telling you 11, or it's telling you there's 2 towers. Okay, so that's how it's that simple. I know it seems stupid and sophomoric and all that, but that's what these people are. They're stupid and sophomoric and just it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. I can't say how ridiculous this is. Okay, moving on. I'm sorry if I'm ranting or whatever, but I'm just blown away by this. I can't believe how stupid this is. Okay, let me go back for 1 second here. We'll go back here, watch. Look at the date. See this? 1918, which is 198. Oh, sorry, 199. 1 plus 8 is 9. So think of 919. Just remember 919. Okay, let's go forward. And look at the difference on these dates. 1963 versus way back in 1918. Okay, look. 919. The other one was 919. What's 919? The first day. I've been saying the first day is 919, is 1119, is 1219, and that was the first. That was the baby Baphomet day, which will be the first. It's always about the first and the fourth and the 5th day. I'm telling you, that's been that way all the time, this whole time, and it's proven out every single time. So it's not just this date; it's that day because it's 919. I'm gonna show you 919 coming up here soon. Again, another 919, which is 1019, is 1119, is 1219, because those are all versions of December. And I've shared that in previous videos about why 919. 919 on the Roman calendar, which elites go by, is 9 months and 19 days into the elites calendar is December 19th. And that was my first day. And then that's going to be December 19th, really on the Julian calendar, because who's more Roman than Julius Caesar, who came up with the Julian calendar? And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit here. But anyway, let's keep going. Now I'm going to show you, I showed you gematria on these. Now I'm going to show you something a little bit different, even though there's so much in all this stuff. I mean, lump of sugar. Literally, this says, in one of the biggest undertakings in history against blah, 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 the Sabin, blah, 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 is taken with a lump of sugar, will commence countrywide tomorrow. Boom. Are you kidding me? A lump of, this is all, there's so much in this. I mean, lump of sugar. Ooh, doggy. Okay, 1219. 1219. 919. I mean, let me show you this. First and last letter code, because I just did gematria. Now I'm going to do first and last letter code to prove my point on this whole thing right here. Okay, ready? So, they call it the Sabine, and then Oral, and then Po, and then Leo, and then back, and then the thing called Scene. Okay, so but the first letter code in this and this is what? 19 and 15. Okay. Which this is so much in here. And then we're looking, so what is 1915? That is 9-5. Okay, and then right here, PV is 722. It's also, this is 9-5, but it's also, you could take the 9 away. It's a noble thing. It's, you take the 1s away, you take the 9 away, anything you add 9 to the same. It's 11-5. 11-5, and then PV is 722. Remember, Lincoln, Reagan, 722, 227, Reagan was shot, and then 7-4 again. Again, 7 is really, remember, the sun is farthest from the earth on 7-4, but it's closest on January 4th. So if they're pointing to this, they're really pointing to the opposite, which is January 4th and January 11-5. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. This is too shocking. I mean, the fact that these are both have something to do with this, with the thing, I mean, look at the worst. I mean, yeah. Okay, hopefully I don't have to, and then look at these two. These two are separated by so many years and everything. Look how they're the exact upside down and backwards of each other. Boom. Just flip the 9. Flip the 9 and the 6. Boom. And then by the way, so if you do it this way, check this out. If I basically take this, so we have 5, 6, and then we have 1, 2. Because they do this a lot of times too. It's about how many letters and words as well. So we have 5, 6, and they have 1, 2. Flip this exactly upside down and backwards. We have 9-5-21, or December 5th, 21, or December 23rd, 21. And then this one right here is just backwards. This one's upside down and backwards. This one's backwards. This is 9-5-2021. And that's a coincidence? And these both relate to each other. They're both Jewish reduction. One's upside down and backwards of each other. One's completely the date, which is hidden. Of course, 12-23, which is, again, 12 is 9, and then 23 is 2 plus 3 is 5. Okay, hopefully that makes sense again. But backwards, this is 9-5-2021. Okay, so there's yin and yang. There's nugget and bucket. Yeah, all kinds of names I could call these people. I mean, seriously, the worst of the worst. The worst and the worst. Okay, so this is, again, yin and yang. Okay, I'm telling you, this is yin and yang. This is supposed to represent the good child going into heaven, the man-child, the faithful, going to see Christ in the rapture eventually here. I'm saying is the last day, the 14th of January. Okay, but the transformation of those, and then the other the part of the church, which is going to be the I can't think what they I'll think of it at some point. They're going to be tested during the 10 days, which starts on the 5th. It goes to the 14th. They're going to be tested on those 10 days, and then they're the other church that's tested for 10 days. Anyway, so that represents kind of them, and then he is him. But like I shared before, they both got together on this date, okay, and sealed an agreement, okay. And I've shared this in a previous video here, but I want to touch on this again. So again, 9/23 is 9/23. The date of 9/23 is the 266th day of the year. And again, I'm talking about all this stuff with the 266. And then what is 266? 2 6s and 1 6. 2 6s and 1 6 is 666. 2 6s and 1 6. That's what's hiding. And he is the 266th Pope. It just happens to be. And this guy is 666. And then the Revelation 12 sign would just happen to be on 9/23 because it's the 266th day. And that is also representing 666. It's because it's the birth of him as well as the man-child as well. And that's the 266th day of the year. I'm showing you right here. And then the 9 days left over is 99, which is 66 upside down backwards. I mean, it's just crazy. This is nuts. Okay, so the reason I'm showing this is because this is the 266 weeks from the conception when Jupiter entered Virgo on November 20th, 2016. Okay, and then when Jupiter exited Virgo, and then was 2 weeks later was between the legs, and then and exactly that's an exact alignment of planets, 5 planets in the sun, an exact alignment which hadn't happened. That at least that alignment never has Jupiter been in Virgo for nine and change months, and this whole alignment ever in history. This was nothing like it ever, and maybe never will be. And I've shown that many times. Anyway. But this exact alignment of the planets in the sun, and right here is the exact alignment of the planets in the same planets in the sun at the Golden Gate alignment, which is exactly separated by 777 days. And then from those exact planets in the sun, all the way 777 days later, which was the next possible alignment of these planets in the sun, but it ends up being another 777 days after that on exactly Christmas, the false Christ death symbolism. It just, there's no way, okay? The last time these were in this, these exact planets of the sun were in this, were in an alignment. The last time was in 1961. Who was born in 1961? I wonder. Stinky B.O., Beelzebub Butthead, the 44th Prez. Okay, seriously, it's phenomenal. Okay, so then this is marking out what? So this is what's coming. So again, remember the 266 days, 266 weeks is all the way across here. That's substantial, massive. So then why was this not right? Because there's more to balance this, and that's this, the 7 plus 7 plus 7 days. So we had the 777 days, we had the 777 days from the birth across here, and then we have 7 plus 7 plus 7 more days to finally get there. Okay, I'm going to show you this. So again, on Christmas, there was this alignment. Again, we had this alignment, which is very super rare. Like I said, the last time was Golden Gate alignment. Before that, which is 777 days before. And then before that, the last one exactly was the Revelation 12 sign alignment. Again, the same planets in the sun. Jupiter, Saturn, Venus, Mercury, the sun, and down here's Mars on the bottom there. It kind of covered up by the word Antares a little bit, the dot. But it's all there, okay? And then it ends right there. Well, what's that? Because this is pointing out these last 7 days. The last set of 7 days. So we have 7 days later, if you include the day, or 7 days later is 1/1. Okay, but if you include, and then you include the day here and then go 7 days, it's weird. It's not only 7, but you also have, sometimes you have to include the day. It's the way the enemy does, the way that God does it in different ways also, but it's all here. So 7 plus 7 days right here goes from the first. And so right here we have from this day to that day is 14 days. Or again, when you look at it, when you're not including, you're adding days together, it's 13 days. When you're including the first day, it's 14 days. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, and then what's this day right here? This is the real, again, it depends on how you look at it. 14 days, if you include the day, or 13 actual days from there to there, okay? And there's a Julian calendar, and then there's the 14 days that it's off, okay? Right here. And then that's Orthodox Christmas. It's the real one that they're hiding, okay? And then here, who's this? This is Vladimir Putin, and he's saying, what does he saying? He's saying, Merry Christmas to you. He's saying it in Russian, so most people can't tell. It's in Russian, so who knows? But he's saying Merry Christmas because it's in closed caption, so, he's saying in closed caption, so he's saying Merry Christmas, and he's there in front of a church, an Orthodox church, on guess what day he's saying this last year? On this day last year, he's saying it on January 6th. Sorry, excuse me. The 6th of January. He's saying these things. The 6th of January, he said that last year about Christmas that was going to be the next day. And this guy is a unique authority on Orthodox Christmas. Why? Well, he celebrates it. like it's real Christmas, because it really was. And he's a clue that there's a real Christmas they go by. And he's an elite. Why is he an elite? Because he's a clone. Just like Stinky BO. He's a clone, like I've shown many times and I've proven in different ways. He's a clone of Julius Caesar. What's more Julian calendar, boom, Julian calendar, than Julius Caesar? Because guess what? That Julian calendar came from the rule of Julius Caesar, and it has his name. Julius, Julian, Julius, Julian. Hello. Okay. Julius, Julian. And Julius Caesar was the head of the Roman Empire. Okay, so he's a perfect clone of Julius Caesar, and Stinky BO is a perfect clone of Akhenaten. Look, I mean, I'm saying this. Look at this. Of course, this gets more stylized, and it goes up here, and look, the eye is, and the head gets all distorted after here. But right here, like you really use a real facial cast right here of this when they did Akhenaten's face. It's perfect. This nose is perfect. Look at the crease here, baby. Look at the crease. Look at that. Look at those lips. They're perfectly lined. The nose, I mean, I did the best I could with what I could see. It's not perfect, but it is super close. These creases, this is crazy, crazy. Look at that crease. It is perfect. How could that be? And look at him. Look at that. Look at where his hair is like here. Literally, he could grow his hair up top and go like this. Look at that big forehead. It's exactly matching. I mean, look at the eyes. Look at the brow ridge. I mean, it is perfect. You can't see this crease, but there's a crease right here. It is perfectamundo. He is Julius Caesar cloned. Stinky BO is a clone of Akhenaten, guaranteed. Sorry, I'm just passionate about this. This is ridiculous. And the fact that I have to try to convince people is mind-blowing. When some people I don't. Yeah, I'm thankful for everybody who listens and who puts up with me, if I'm on a tire, if I'm whatever. It's me. I'm me being me. Some people are entertained by it or whatever. I'm just being me, and I'm going to do it the way I do it, and that's it. And if you don't like it, then, take, a long walk off a short pier and see how cold it is. Okay, so, bam. Okay, so, hopefully in a tropical area, if you're not, anyway. Okay, so, this is what I presented for my last timeline, and this was staggering. And I'm going to prove this in a different way. Woo, doggy. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Okay. I am really on fire right now because this is just phenomenal stuff that the Lord's given me and given Constantine and given other people that I'm so thankful for that I've finally received to give to you right now. So the day this happened, it was announced on it was announced on the eclipse day of June 10th. 28 weeks later is this date. And then when this was announced, by the way, this is the Delt and then the A, the Delt and then the A. And then this is the Ami and then the Kron. And that was announced on Thanksgiving, which is 11/25. And exactly 28 days later is this date. And then I guessed about this one being the T and then the Ow and then the Very and then the Ant. Okay, but it's not. And I'm going to get into what I think it is and why it's something else. But I was guessing, of course. But from this date to 28 weeks later going to that. And then this date, 28 days going to that. I mean, are you kidding me? There's no way that could be. Okay, and then now we're in the time warp of the Julian to the Gregorian, and it's going to work this time, and you won't believe what I have. You will not believe it. Get ready. Buckle up, Buttercup. Buckle up. Okay, here, ready? So now it's a question. What's going to happen there? When this is the Tau. This is the cross. This is the sideways T here. Okay, by the way, 12/23 is also 10/23. Again, Decem 23. Okay, just a little bit of refresher. So how is 12/23, because this is the goal here, right here. How is this going to be also 1/5, January 5th? Because remember, this is going to be on the Julian when this happens on the Gregorian. And like I showed you earlier, right? Okay, bam. So when this happens, I'm going to say that this could happen. And again, this is a massive guess, that the T and then the Ow and the Very and then the Ant is going to be on 1/1 to set up this attack day. Zombie day, attack day, meteor day, the innocent children taken day, transformation of the 144 day, crazy day. Woo! Glorious day for the ones who believe. Oh my goodness. Okay, because look, boom. No, there's no escape. Look on top there. 28 weeks later. And look at the bottom. It's back everywhere. May 11th. What is May 11th? 5/11. What's it backwards? January 5th. To the elites, January 5th. I'm sorry. Remember the 5th of November. 5th of November is November 5th. It's hiding January 5th. That's why they're saying, remember the 5th of November. Guy Fawkes Day, whatever, right? All you Brits know what I'm talking about, and some Europeans and most Americans don't know nothing. And don't know enough. I'm just being silly. I'm being so silly. So I apologize if I don't mean to be offensive or anything, but it's just amazing how little people know. Anyway, about things that are important. You know, people know a lot about sports. They know a lot about things that are important, but things that are massively important to the rest of your life and your future life and eternal life. Okay, here we go. I'm just really quirky right now. So, okay. So anyway, so that's 11.5 right there, right? Okay, boom. Are you ready? What do you see right here? I mean, first of all, when I look at this, I was like, okay, my brother Constantine saw something in here. And when I saw it earlier, I saw something right away, but I didn't see what he saw. Now, he saw this, and I just freaked. Just freaked. These are eyes. See, this is an eye with a slit, and these are horns. This is the devil coming up. This is eyes here, an eye with a slit, and horns right here. Devil's coming up. He's rising to the blood moon. The blood moon right here. Yep. Watch out. Okay, but I'm going to show you some gematria. Now, I'm going to show you some first and last letter code. Again, I'm one of the few people that talks about this. The Lord's really taught me in first and last letter code, and it's phenomenal what's here. Okay, are you ready? Y'all ready for this? Okay, here we go. L is 12. Okay, L is 12th letter of the alphabet. That's the first letter code, L. And then I'm going to do it this way. W is 23. What did I say about 1223? Remember that those things were pointing to 1223? Remember? I just showed you in previous slides here. Yeah. And then what's here? What's over here? Last letter code. We've got R is 18th letter of the alphabet. 1 plus 8 is 9. And then S is the 19th letter of the alphabet. What's 919? I showed you that earlier as well. 919 was the year of, which was 1918, of the SPA, and then the Anish, and then the FA, and then the Lu, right? And then that was also the year of the 19, oh my God, what was it now? Remember the Poli, and then the O, and then the VAC, and then the scene. Okay, I'll say it that way. Okay, they were both 919 in the year. There it is. That's the first day, 919. And then that just happens to be right there. I don't think. And then 28 is 2 plus 8 was 10. Take away the 0, which is 1. And you can use it for a few things. You can use it over here. You can use it whatever. Or you just get rid of it. 1 you can get rid of. Whatever. But there's so many things hidden here. Hopefully you see what I'm saying. And then here's more. Now we're going to get into gematria here in a little bit here. Boom. Well, before I do that, again, remember I showed you how we had the Julian, which is yet to come. On the Julian is yet to come December 23rd. We're still in 2021, by the way, according to the elites. We're in a few different ways we are. By the Roman calendar and by the Julian calendar, we're still in 2021. We're technically there because we just have a couple days, but in a couple more days, we'll still be there, past the first that we know. Anyway, well, sorry. Okay, 12/23, remember, is 11/5. Remember? 12/23 is 11/5, or the 23rd of December is January 5th. There it is right there. Boom, boom. It's right there on the same slide. Same poster. Hidden. Okay, now let's keep going. Now, right here, these two arrows. 2319. We have a 2319. Anybody knows where that's from? If you have kids or whatever. 2319. We have a 2319. That's from Monsters Incorporated. Monsters, portals, children hidden in another area, another place. Had nothing to do with the fifth day, huh? Which is 10/23, Decem 23, or again, eventually hiding January 5th, because we also have that too in here. But okay, so because we have, what do we have? 2319. Take away the 9. And then you add 9 Tuesdays the same. Then we have January 5th. 2 plus 3 is 5. January 5th. It's right there. 2319. We have 2319. And to prove that even more, because he's got contaminated, because this monster went through a portal to go to try to scare a girl or scare a kid, and that kid's sock got on him, which makes a contamination in their world. And what is he wearing? He's wearing a white sock. To prove this, beyond the shadow of a doubt, 2319. Here it is. Are you ready? White sock. First letter code W, which is 23, and S, which is 19. 2319. And that's what I've circled on his back. Okay, and there's so much more. This is just one example of how gematria works. This is first letter code gematria, which is first letter WS or Will Smith, because Will Smith is Obama. Anyway, Will Smith, WS is 2319, the first attack day, which is Independence Day, which is the 4th and the 5th. I mean, it goes. Hopefully that makes sense. Oh my goodness, it's all here. Woo, doggy. It's all in all these movies and TV shows, and they all relate to each other. This is crazy. Okay, boom. Okay, what do I do here? Okay, let's keep going. All right, so let me show you this. When I go back here, yeah, okay. All right, so here we go. Gematria. Look at the bottom wording. It's back everywhere, May 11th. It's back everywhere, May 11th. It just happens to be 11/5. May 11th turned reversed in reverse full reduction. Are you kidding me? There's more. There's more. Okay, look at how many letters and words there are. See, look at this. So we have this whole thing is 20 letters and 5 words. Take away the 0, you have 25. 2-5 is hiding 11-5 because 2 is made up of 11-11. Like I said, 2 towers is 2. 1 tower and 1 tower is 2 towers. Okay, boom. like in Lord of the Rings, the 2 towers. Oh, it's about the 11. Yeah, it's about January. Yeah, exactly right. See, there's all this stuff hidden everywhere. And then ultimately, January is 11, and the 11th day is tsunamis, and that's when lightning falls from heaven. So that's 11/11. A lot of you have seen 11/11 on clocks, like I have many times, and all that kind of stuff. You know 11/11 is something significant. That's what it is. It's when lightning falls, Barak Bama, lightning falling from heaven. And Jesus said in Luke 10:18, I see Satan as lightning falling from the heights or from heaven. Barak Bama. And that's what 11 is all about. That's why the 2 buildings that were way back there in the 2000 and then the 1 went down because it's an 11 as well. And that was showing his birth and stuff. Yeah, so much stuff. And it's also January, and it's also the 11th day. And it's also, okay, anyway. And here it is again. It's back everywhere. Again, remember 10-23 or 1-2-3. Or remember, 1 can be an I, so it's 9-2-3. And we have 9-2-3, and we have 12-19. And look across here, 9-23 and 12-19. That was the actual day. So 9-19 is 12-19. This is how they do this stuff. I'm telling you, 9-23 or 2-3-9 is hidden. 12-19. Ugh. Okay, and then last but not least, so look at 11/5. 11/5 is really, or this whole thing, which is 11/5, it's back everywhere. May 11th is also in single reduction 105. January, take away the 0 or the 05. Okay, here we go. Keep going. All right, so what is this? This is a blood moon right here. Blood moon. Why? They go off these things. They love these blood moons. They love the eclipses, all that kind of stuff. There's so much symbolism, all that. Ultimately, it will equate to death and life. Or death, it equates to birth, death, and rebirth. Okay, so that's what it... So here's a blood moon. And then what's the last blood moon we experienced? Because we're in this time. May 26th of this year, 2021, was the massive super blood moon. Okay, here you go. When was the last blood moon in 2021? Well, it was the 26th of May, 2021. And you can read that. It was a super flower blood moon. Super blood moon. It was a super flower blood moon. So it was massively significant to the elites as they make all this stuff super significant. And God does too in a way. So anyway, so that is one way we arrive at this particular date starting point, is it's showing a blood moon. Okay, so I'm going to show you another way I'm going to arrive at May 26th. This guy, okay, this is from the first movie. There's 28 days later and then 28 weeks later. Okay, this is the first movie, 28 days later. This guy, okay, how did they pick this guy? They picked that guy because he's just some guy. I mean, he's in London in the movie in the beginning. He's walking around. I'll just go back to that. He's walking around. He's in London. That's an overturned truck behind him. And he's literally in London. Those are always trippy movies where they show like a massive place, a huge place where there's usually like whenever they show New York and there's nobody there. It's like how they do that and they cordon off things for a little while. But I mean, normally there's just so many thousands of people there and everything. Same thing with London. I mean, there's nobody there. It's kind of freaky. It feels, weird and everything. And here's walking around and whatever. But they picked this guy, just some British guy. He's Irish, just some guy. Why? Because he ends up fitting the bill in a lot of ways. And one of the ways is this guy's name is Cillian Murphy. He's been in Batman and some other stuff too. Anyway, he's an Irish actor. And look, I have underlined at the bottom there in red. May 25th. He's born May 25th. Again, birth and death and rebirth, all this kind of stuff. And look, he was born May 25th. Is that a coincidence? Because we have a full moon, we have a blood moon right here, and it's May 26th, and then we have May 25th. No, because look, blood moon is actually 25th and 26th, depending on your time zone. Imagine how that works. So he just happens to have the same. So it's like when you start adding this stuff up, when Constantine and I were adding this stuff up, it just adds up to something. And then you see something like this. Okay, so here he is. There's either kind of towards the bottom left there. And he woke up from a coma, this character in this movie, 28 days later. He woke up from a coma, which is very similar to The Walking Dead. And they're both zombie movies. They woke up from a coma, why are they both similar that way? Because it's death and rebirth. They died, in a sense, and they were in a coma, and then they came out of the coma, so they rebirth. And that's what the zombie thing is all about. It's about dying, but then coming back to life. Okay? And that it's all pointing to the Antichrist. It's all pointing to the chief zombie is Stinky B.O., the 44th Prez, Beelzebub Butthead himself. Okay? I'm telling you, believe it or not, you've been told, you've been warned. Okay, so he goes to this wall where there's all these messages because all this freaky stuff went on. People are dead, zombies everywhere, right? And now it's all empty during the daytime, of course. And he's looking on this wall, the first thing they show is this thing. It's panning, and you see right here, there's the first number he show from him walking around. First numbers they show right here. And look, you see it right there towards the top right? It's 5 and 26. Just happens to be right there. And then it's scrolling over, okay? But it's the first numbers you see, and there's, 5 and then 26. Of course, it's kind of obscure a little bit, and it's hidden in there, and it's the way it's, 5's above the 26, and over to the right a little bit, but that's what it is. And it just happens to be the same day. I wonder what. And then so it scrolls over even more, and then it stops right in there where it's, first of all, it's on this side and starts right there. And then it stops, and it pretty much stops scrolling, and it scrolls over to here and stops. And so that shows me that it's being pointed out in a weird way. So, but you see that 526 right there. And then it's talking about this person here that's 5'7" inches tall, 26, whatever, right? Well, immediately it stuck out to me because 7 is an upside down L. Okay, and that's why July, another reason why July is December, because 7, here, let me show you here. So 7, there's that 7, it's hidden. Again, they also consider 6 to be 9, 9 to be 6. Okay, they also consider L to be 7, and I've shared that in my upside down and backwards stuff, and all these messages and all these dates they have. It's crazy. So 7 is L, upside down, hidden. Look at that. See, even the way they wrote it, it looks like exactly like an L. I mean, the top's a little bit slanted, but it's fine. It's perfectly, well, that could be easily a written L, no problem. So L is what? Go down, L is 12. So conversely, L is 12, the 12th letter of the alphabet. So conversely, upside down L is 21, because you just take that 2 and the 1 and upside down. So if we add the 21, if this is hidden, this is a 21, we have the 26th of May 21, and that's referring to the blood moon. And look, the blood moon right here. Blood moon, it is a red circle. See that? Blood moon. Again, they can't just spell it out for you. They can't just put on there, the zombie apocalypse will be predicted way back with the blood moon, and then you have to add days and weeks to it and get all the way to that. They won't say that, okay? Because that's what cheap little wimp bots they are. I mean, seriously, it's how this stuff works. So you have to look at this stuff, and you have to, and that's what it's showing. So I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove it even more. Now watch. Okay, are you ready for this? Okay, so, and I've shown you this slide to just give you an idea, okay? There's so much I could show you in this movie about how Stinky BO and about Zombie Day and all this kind of stuff and all this stuff. I'm just going to show you one more slide here to give you an idea that I'm going to leave this stuff, okay? To show you how freakish this is, okay? Or freaking freakish, okay, however you want to say. Evacuation in bold letters and everything is 666. It's saying, and you don't know, 666 to your subconscious. Okay, sorry, but it is. And then, look, you can't see it really here, but as he moves the paper, it says Evening Star. That's the name of the paper. It's called the Evening Star. What is Evening Star in Gematria? 978. Oh, it just happens to match Barack Insane Obama. That's it. And that just happens to match. So that's saying that Evening Star is this, and this is, he is this. Is that another massive coincidence? Again, I could go through this whole paper. Several phrases are 11.5 and all kinds of stuff. It's just crazy. In referring to even the blood moon and everything, I'm just not going to. And there's so many things, and I could spend hours on this. I could put 5 hours of solid information about this whole movie that would kind of blow you away, but I'm not going to right now. I'm making a point here. So from 526, the blood moon, 28 days later, like the first movie, we'll do it this way, and then I'm going to do it a few other ways you're going to be blown away by. You get to June 23rd, 2021. Well, right away, look right here. Brock, who insane, is 623 and Jewish. So you go, okay, that's a coincidence. That's just a coincidence because he's the same, whatever. I believe in magic coincidence in any kind of way. But no, 623 is pointing to Stinky BO in iPad Goat like 20 times. And I'm going to just show you two right now. I've shown this over time in my videos and stuff. I'm going to show you two big ones, and it's just to make the point, and you can whatever. But here you go. Watch. Here's Lily in the middle right here, and she is sitting in the middle, and she is a slash. So we have 6 figures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this side of her. 6. Back here in this back row, we have 1, and then these 2 heads, they can be 3, and you can count this as 12 total heads. But in this situation, they want both. They want 11, or they want 2 back here, or 3, for different reasons. So they'll join the heads. These are still 2 separate heads, but in a sense that the join becomes 1. So we have 1, 2 in the back row right here. Oop, she's the slash. And then we have 1, and then 2 joined is 2 joined ends up being 1. So 1, 2. And then we have 1, 2, 3 right here. 1, 2, 3 in the front row here. Boom, 3. That's what it is. Believe it or not, Lord showed me this, and there's so many of these. I'm going to show you another one, for example. Oh, by the way, it refers to him because he is ultraviolet. He is ultraviolet. He's the only one with ultraviolet on him. He's the only one with an ear, and Stinky BO is known for his ears. In fact, he said it many times about his ears. Oh, look at those ears. Whatever. And he is also LC 12.3, the dragon. Revelation 12.3 is the dragon, and that's L, and then there's a sideways C here. A bunch of stuff. That's him. So this is referring to him. Okay, here's another one. Here is he right here in a window pane coming out from the classroom and is zooming out. And I'm going to show you again. So here he is. I just blew it up a little bit. So you can see, again, the ultraviolet tassel that's on his graduation cap there. Okay, again, ultraviolet is Stinky BO. By the way, I've chronicled how a lot of the media, several media things said when he was president, that it seems like ultraviolet is his most popular or most favorite color of tie. He wore ultraviolet ties more than any other tie, and I have statements by media saying that that's the case. That it must be his, or one guy in particular said it must be his favorite because he's always wearing those. We're wearing those more. And ultraviolet is the highest vibration of light, and that has to do with Lucifer being the light bearer and all this other kind of stuff. It's just crazy. It's all symbolic crud. Okay, so anyway, so we have, the first thing we have is he's down in this pane. Okay, so if you go left to right like you would read, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so that's 6, because he's in the 6th pane. Okay, right? And then the next one you go to is up and down, because the next one would be, where is he in relation to this? The next possible one going left to right is this one, and he's in the 2nd pane, 2. And then the next one you go to is this one, and in relation to this row, where is he at? 1, 2, 3. 3, the 3rd one. Okay, these are puzzles, okay? I'm sorry if you don't see this or whatever, okay? But hopefully you see that after I explain it. And even if you doubt it, these are puzzles. There's no different than any brain puzzles out there. It's even more intricate that these are than other things. So, but you've got to, and thankfully I get the promptings from the Lord, and he kind of directs me and things like that. And it's all because of him, because I can't do all this stuff by myself. If, you know, I'm not completely talented can see through all this stuff because of me. It's Jesus himself giving me the enlightenment that I get. I mean, I'm just telling you, I'm not that smart. Okay, so that is him. Okay, he's the subject. That's the number. Do you see that? Hopefully you see that. I gave you 2 examples. There's far more. Just moving on. Okay, so now look at this. Are you ready for this insanity? Me proving this in another way. Remember, we had 28 days from the Delt, and then A, and then Very, and then Ant. Weeks, and then we had from the Ami, and then the Kron, and then the Very, and the Ant. We had 28 days until you got to December 23rd, okay? Now, let's go from the blood moon, and we'll add 28 days later, and we get, again, like I said, 623, Istinkibio. That's exactly his name in Jewish gematria, okay? And then look, we have a blood moon on his cheek. It's reddish. It's also symbolic of another kind of eclipse, but it's kind of reddish, so it's also a blood moon. It is a blood moon, I'm telling you, especially after this. And 28 days later is boom that, okay? And then here we have the tassel, the ultraviolet boom, okay, right? So then from this day, 28 weeks later is what date? Can you guess what date that is? Can you guess? Based on all the things I've said? It's 1/5/2022 on the Gregorian. That just happens to be that way. That, yeah. If you believe in that, it's a massive coincidence. Just turn this off right now. Bye-bye. Later. See ya. Okay, so again, 623, which we got 28 days to get to 623, and then now we have 28 weeks later. Again, the order of the movies, we get to 1/5/2022. I don't think so. Sorry. And then I'm going to prove it backwards and another way forwards. Ready? Okay, again, we have, this is the 28 days later, and 28 weeks first, and the 20 days backwards, and getting to 1223. And how is 1223 1/5? I already showed you one way it is by this. We did it this way, and that got to 1/5. And then before, we did this way, and it got to 1223. And that's why these two are the same, because one's on the Gregorian, one's on the Julian, one's on the Gregorian. And I think I'm proving it, but I'm going to prove it even more. Y'all ready for this? Okay, here we go. Okay, so that's showing that again. Okay, so again, remember the 2 different calendars, they're happening at the same time. It's a time warp in a way. It's being one time, place in time, another place in time in a sense, because they go by, this is the calendar they really go by. And this is the calendar the masses go by. You get it? And then we also have January is really on the Roman calendar, the 11th month. I'm not even showing that right here. But that's another calendar they're not, and I've just been talking about it. I haven't been showing it here because I'm just showing how these two relate to each other at the same time, on the same exact days. Now I'm going to go backwards. The blood moon on May 26th, minus 28 weeks later, minus going backwards, is guess what? UK marks 1 year since deploying world's first COVID vaccine. This is the ad, but it really happened on December 8th, 2020, because you go back from here, 28 weeks later is December 8th, 2020, but this is just an article proving and marking a 1-year anniversary from 2020, and that's 12/8. Do you see something in 12/8 right there? Do you see 28? If you do with the rule of Kalal, you can take away any one, so you take away the 1, you got 28 again. So from the blood moon, 28 weeks earlier is when the first thing happened in the UK, and this movie, remember, this movie is from the UK. Okay, it was in London. It was filmed in London there, right? And all these actors, there was all kinds of actors, Irish and and Scottish and this and all and English and everything else in that movie. And that's from the UK. And then so we would go by, to reference that, we'd go by the UK. But then it's also predicting the, all the stuff in the United States too. But we're going to use this as an example here as the UK. So look, in UK marks 1 year since deployment. And so that happened. The first hokey pokey happened on 12/8/2020, which is exactly 28 weeks earlier before the blood moon. Are you kidding me? Wow. Okay, so now let's go from that date, December 8th, okay, 2020, and then we'll go forward. So we're going to plus, so let's go back forward, plus 28 days later is, plus 28 days later from that date is 1/5/2021. No way. I'm sorry. Okay, another way of looking at it. So we just went backwards just to show. I went backwards to show you the 28 weeks later and how it relates to the first hokey pokey. And remember, the hokey pokey is going to cause the zombie apocalypse. Okay, that's because what's inside the hokey pokers. Hocus poke us. Hocus poke us. Okay, seriously. What is the deal? So now this is another way of looking at it. From the blood moon, 28 weeks later is the actual. So this is, remember I did 28 days later, I went to 623 to emphasize Stinky BO. But you can do it a different way. You can do the weeks first and then do the 28 days. So from the blood moon, 28 weeks later, you get to, again, December 8th, 2021. Now this is the exact day of this article. So 5/26/2021, 28 weeks later is December 8th, 2021, the exact day of this article. So literally, this article is covering both bases, going back from the eclipse and going forward from the eclipse. 28 weeks, either direction. It doesn't matter. It's crazy. This is exactly perfectly crazy. Okay, so then from 12/8/2021, again, remember the original one was 28 weeks before the eclipse, which was December 8th, 2020. Okay, but now going forward from here, because it's the year anniversary from 2020, now it's 2021, this fits exactly 28 weeks later to here. And then from 12/8, you guessed it, 28, well, I have it in front of you, December 8th, 28 days later is the the January 5th, 2021. Are you kidding me? I'm sorry, if you don't see this, wow, just like go back, play it again. If you have to slow it down, whatever, I don't know, but it's there. This is nuts. There's no way this could be. And I'm showing it in several ways how 1/5 equals 12/23, because I did it with 12/23 and I did it with 1/5 using these 28 weeks and 28 days later stuff. It's just, it fits perfectly. Boom. Okay, anyway, I kind of got these out of line here. So anyway, so again, going back to my perfect chart here that the Lord gave me and had me see each thing, and this is crazy. Thank you, Lord Jesus. And then this, again, remember, sevens, all about these sevens. It's all about the sevens. I had years ago, a year and a half ago, or whatever, maybe 2 years ago, I was in the shower and he said, it's all about the sevens. And then I was like, what? And then here's 7 years right there. See the 7 years, and we have the 7 sevens and the 7 + 7 + 7 right here. And it's exactly 7 years. Okay, so I want to make a point about this, and then I'm going to conclude this video here. Well, not quite. Wow, sorry, it's taking longer than I thought. I'm talking a lot, but whatever. It is what it is, and hopefully you're getting a lot of that, because more is coming here. Wow. Okay, so back in 2015, me and my wife and my daughter and my really young son were homeless. I'd been fired from a job completely wrongly. In fact, something happened. I was accused of something. It never was the case. And I proved my innocence 100%. And then it was brought again in a different way. And it was completely false. But the company I work for, I won't talk about them really, Samsung, falsely accused me, or falsely wouldn't investigate. And even though I proved it the first time completely 100% with witnesses and everything, they said they didn't want to deal with it anymore, and they fired me. Because of the allegations, because I was really helping. I was sober with an addiction and for years, and then I was helping guys, managers and stuff, be free. And the company didn't like that. That was working with Samsung. They did not like that, and certain managers didn't like that. Other managers, their buddies, were getting free from addiction, you know, demonic stuff, crazy, and they were making up stuff about me, and they eventually got me fired. So then, and Samsung just would not even take my case after that. They would not take my appeal. They just don't want to deal with it because it made them look bad. It made their managers look bad. It made certain things look bad. And I'm just like, I'm helping these people. Look, talk to these people that are being helped. They'll tell you. And they wouldn't. Anyway, long story. Wow, sorry about all that. But you gotta, it's just what happens, man. It's just ridiculous. And then we were renting a place, and then the landlords, husband and wife couple, Christian so-called, they were older people, and were going to divorce each other. And then they said, we'll give you a month to leave. And we're like, okay, we didn't want to leave. We had no intentions of leaving. It's a really bad market. And so we had to leave. Okay. Anyway, and then we ended up during that summer of 2015, that started in early June. And then we were like, we were in a hotel. We were staying at some friend's house, a couple different houses. It worked out weird where we were able to, through a church and then through some friends, another set of people that were able to house sit for a little bit while they were on vacation, 2 different places. So anyway, while we were house sitting, one place in August, it was crazy. But anyway, we were homeless for months and months. It was crazy. And it was summer of 2015, just to recap here, so make sure I hit everything. And we were house sitting. The second house they were sitting towards the end of the summer, it was in August. And I got 3 dreams. First dream was about the mega tsunami that I saw, and I'm not getting into that right now. And then the second dream, and in fact, I was so stunned by it, I didn't even share it with my wife for a little while because I didn't know what to think of it. And then the second dream I got, and by the way, it was 11 days. We were house sitting there. I'll never forget it. And then the second dream I got was 923, America is laid low. And I'm like, what the heck does that even mean? And I don't even use the term laid low. It sounded like an old English thing or a King James thing. So I looked it up, and that was kind of in King James. So it was said laid low a couple times. Anyway, so here I am. Okay, so I had the second dream, laid low, America laid low, 923, America laid low. I'm not getting into all the dreams. I've just described those dreams. And then I had a third dream. Okay, and I've never shared this on my videos. I've shared the first 2, and I have videos on that. I'm not getting into that right now. If you're curious, whatever, maybe I'll share where those are, whatever. But my ARC dream, you can look back on my channel a ways, and then I don't have it listed for my for this one, but it shows as a thumbnail, I think, going in about a couple years or something. But anyway, so my third dream I'm going to share for the very first time, and Lord gave me permission recently to share it. I've never given permission until now for a number of reasons, but I'm going to this time. So we were at this house like 8 days or whatever it was. Maybe 9, technically 9 days, I guess. Anyway, whatever. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit funky in my throat here from talking so much. Sometimes it affects me more than others. So anyway, that night we had, and I have this upside down for a reason right now, but right now we were doing a game called Trouble, and my daughter pulled it out, or it was pulled out, and we were playing this game Trouble. We played a couple times because kids want to play games. We were just house sitting. They had nothing to do really. We were playing some games, and we played Trouble there. Okay, boom. So then that night I go to sleep, and keep in mind, again, earlier in that 11 days, I had 2 mega dreams. They were phenomenal revelation dreams. Okay, so then this night, I had a dream, and this dream was, again, just as real as it could be. My daughter was pulling out this game Trouble again, and she pulled out the game Trouble, and then she showed it to me, and she said, do you want to play In Trouble? Do you want to play In Trouble? And I'm like, In Trouble? And she says, yes. She says, America, and she said like this. She had a really high voice, and she's so cute. When you want to play In Trouble, and then it was God's voice. It was just what I would imagine to be God's voice. Do you want to play In Trouble? And I said, what do you mean? I said, is America, and I just said it this way. What do you mean? Is America in trouble? And he said, yes. And then he said, pop the bubble. And so I popped, if you know Trouble, the game Trouble, there's a bubble in the middle there. You can see it right there. And you pop it, and you push it, and it pops, and boop, and then it rolls the die for you. Okay? And so I popped it. It was a 2. That's why it's upside down, because it's a 2. And I was like, okay. And he says, and then the Lord said, pop it again. So I popped it again, and it was a 5. And then he said, okay, you can stop. And I said, what? I said, okay. And I tried to guess. I'm like, is America in trouble in 25 years? He said, no. And I just felt like I should go down from there. 25 months. He said, no. He said, 25 weeks. I said, he said, no. I said, I just felt like that's what I should ask. And so in the dream, and I said, is America in trouble? And I said it this way, is America in trouble in 25 days? And he said, yes. And I'm like, what the heck? America's in trouble in 25 days? And I said, okay. And then the dream was over. And then I woke up. America's troubles in 25 days. What's going to happen in 25 days? What? How do I know 25 days? What? And then so I was thinking to myself, what is today? And I looked on the calendar, and it was the 29th of August, 2015. And then I didn't know what was in 25 days. And so, but I counted it, and I add 25 days to the 29th, and I got September 23rd. And at that time, I didn't know anything that was going on or what was the significance of September 23rd or anything, let alone that September 23rd was the 266th day of the year, for crying out loud, or anything that I know right now, which is amazing how much I've learned in that amount of time. I can't even believe it. Okay, so I'm like, but I still didn't know. I knew the date. I'm like, okay, what's going to happen in 25 days? And then somewhere around here, I think, I heard, by doing my research, that Stinky B.O., the 44th Prez, and Pope Mobile were going to be meeting together. And I'm like, oh my goodness, are they going to cause the end of the world? What? What is going on? What's going to happen here? Okay. Wait, hold on. And then before I do that, and so it happened, and then nothing happened. Okay. And I got other stuff about, that soon was going to be, what was it now? There was some things about September also, and people were on YouTube and all kinds of stuff, and that things are coming and whatever, and people even saying something about that and all that stuff. I forget what it was, but I'm like, okay, I'm just looking, what's going on? Nothing happened and whatever by then. And then I felt like over some time, the Lord showed me that what happened there was they sealed a deal of the end of the United States, and they gave gifts to each other, and they were basically, it was a ritual to end the United States, and that it would end on some future date, and I didn't know what it was, of course. Okay, so now, going back to that, the Lord's brought me back to that recently, and said, look back at the 2 and the 5, and then I know by when He said that to me recently, days ago, look back at the 2 and the 5, and I know, because I just shared this to you earlier with a 205 and a 25, that 2, 5 is 2, is 1 and 1, and 5 is 5. America is laid low also is the other dream I had just before that one. He said 923, America's laid low. Now, what did I say? 923 is 1123 is 1223, or 923 is 1023 is 1123 is 1223. Or 9 months in Delete's calendar and 23 days is December 23rd. And then 2-5 is also 11-5. So both are pointing to, one's pointing to December 23rd, which is what I said about 28 weeks and days later in the first thing. And then 11-5 is 28 days and weeks, or weeks and days later on the other thing. I'm just sharing it with you. So December 23rd on the Julian is January 5th, or 11-5 on the Gregorian, and I'm proving it to myself mainly. And, the jury's out on it for you, but crazy. Now let me show you something else that's phenomenal that ties into this, that happened a while back. Okay. So this is back in 2019. Okay. 2019. And me and my wife find out we're pregnant again for the third time. And I'm thinking it's going to be one baby, right? But we end up doing an ultrasound, and it ends up being twins. Twins. And at that point, I was kind of shocked, because I have been doing YouTube videos since August of 2018, and this was sometime in 2019. This was like fall of 2019 or whatever. Is that right? What it was? Yeah, fall of 2019, or maybe I'll go almost to winter, whatever. And I'd already been doing videos for a year or more on YouTube about a twin birth, a birth of the Antichrist on earth, and a birth of the man-child in heaven at the same time, on pretty much the same exact day. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, my twins are going to be born, and it's going to be some kind of representation of that. It's just, I'm getting twins? What? I mean, hopefully you realize that. So, and then when we went to get the ultrasound, I don't have the picture right here, but I've shared it in the past. The ultrasound guy was like, hey, I'll give you a 3-dimensional ultrasound. I'll give you a couple of them for free. I'm like, okay. So the first one he gives us, both babies are in a yin and yang formation. They look like a yin and yang, and one looks lighter from the light and one looks darker. It looks like a yin and yang. I was like, and I didn't even say that. I didn't even think, the Lord said to me, it's yin and yang. I'm like, he just said it like that. I wasn't even, I mean, it looked kind of like it, but I didn't think about it at first. And he said yin and yang. He goes, it's yin and yang. And I was like, whoa. And I'm like, and I know it doesn't mean one of them's evil and whatever and all that, but they just have two different characteristics, quite a bit, two different. They have very different personalities, and it's just an example of the difference between these things in a lot of different ways. Not that one's good, one's bad, or whatever. They're both amazing, but it's phenomenal. Anyway, so right after the ultrasound, it was like a week or something. I was driving at a job where I was driving a lot, and I see this license plate that you see right here. Very, very similar. It was a California license plate. It looked very similar to this. And it said TWO 511. And if you've ever seen stuff, if the Lord's ever shown you stuff on license plates or even clocks or, I mean, all kinds of crazy stuff, giving you numbers, if you know what I'm talking about. If you've never experienced that, then, you know, you won't get it probably. Okay, so I'm talking to you people that get it. So, and maybe it will help other people, who knows, but the ones who really get it. Because you'll just see a license plate, and yeah, it's just a license plate, right? But sometimes you might see it, and then for some reason it's like it's highlighted. It's like you need to look at this, or it's telling you something, and it's from the Lord. It's just a message. He does it in different ways, in all kinds of diverse ways, through creation, and just so many different ways. And for me, it's a lot of numbers. It just and other things. There's a lot of symbols and stuff, but there's a lot of numbers, just the way it is. And so immediately, you know, with the context of having twins coming, and knowing that my wife was saying that our expected due date was somewhere in the late April, I was like, are you telling me, Lord, that there are going to be 2 babies, or the twins, on May 11th? And I really felt like he was confirming that this was important. This is pretty much this is what he was saying, or whatever. And I'm like, what the heck? In fact, I would have a picture of this, and I would always try to take pictures of this stuff when I was doing this, just to have it to look back at, or maybe even share or something. But the car that was in front of me, I saw it, and then it was over on a lane over from me, and then it just turned right, and I couldn't. And it would be unsafe for me to even try to snapshot it from where I was or whatever. Try to get my phone on, screen on and turn it, whatever. So it wasn't going to work. But so it just wasn't going to work. So, but I could never forget it. Okay. And then, you know what he said to me? So I saw this, and he said that, and then he said, say it backwards. And I'm like, what? He said, say it backwards. So I said, November 5th out. Or then I said, oh, maybe it's just 11/5 out. Which it was just, the fact that he said it that way, and that it actually, this, when you say it backwards, is out. I was like, what? Out? I'm like, are we leaving? Are we out on November 5th or something? I mean, it was just weird. I was like, I don't want to pre-think this, but it was just weird. Okay, so then here comes like 2 weeks or something. A week and a half to 2 weeks. I don't know what it was, okay? I'm just telling you the story because it's mind-blowing. Okay, and the Lord's telling me to share it right now. So, boom. Here's the actual car I took a picture of. Okay, and this was like a week and a half to 2 weeks later from this other one on the left. This one I didn't get a picture of. And look at this. When I saw this, and the Lord really marked it out, because this, as you can see, I'm driving, and he was just hanging out in front of me. In fact, I was so dumb, it was probably a little while this car was in front of me, and I just happened to look at it in front of me because it was just right. I mean, it's a little bit farther in front of me than it, because I kind of zoomed in on a little bit. But I just happened, it was probably in front of me for a little while. The other one was kind of quickly. It was like boom, and then he turned and whatever, but I saw it, and the Lord got my attention on it. At the time, it was perfect timing, all this stuff. And this was like, he got my attention, and then it was like, and then I saw this, I was like, what the heck? I could not believe it. And I'm like, and then he said to me, so I looked at this license plate. I hope you get what this is. This is, to me, just for me to just even say this, it's like phenomenal. It's just, I can't even believe it happened. And then he said, say it backwards also. He said 2/11/5. So I said 2/11th of May, because it had to do with my possible twins being born, because, reference to May, because I'm like, are you telling me again it's going to be 2 on the 11th of May? And then he said, say it backwards. And then I said, and then it's because I was asking him about my twins, and he said 5, and then he said, say it backwards. And I said 5/11 out. And little did I know what all this meant completely, but it was blowing my mind. So let me zoom that up there so you can see it. Sorry. Oh man, just the fact of these two being so similar and me noticing them, it's virtually impossible, because I don't look for license plates. I mean, I just never have. I never will. Even if you look for them, you can't find anything. You won't find it. And it just happened. It was just it either was massive of the charged coincidence, or the Lord was in me in the situation and moving me and moving the situation. And it was. I know him well enough. I know circumstances well enough. It was just phenomenal. Okay, and hopefully you get this. Like, this is just, what are the chance of this? Just impossible. So then, even more proof of this. So then after this, well, let me go to this. Okay, there's more coming here. We're getting close to being done here, kind of. So after this, it was maybe a week or two later, something like that. Some family was guessing on the due date of the twins. And so a lot of us, maybe it was weeks later, I can't remember exactly how many weeks, but, and they were guessing, different people were guessing. And of course, my wife had the due date of, I think it was late April. It was like 27th, 28th or something like that. I forget. And so she wasn't sure. I think she said in the beginning of May or something, but other people said like April, end of April. Some people said very beginning of May, whatever. I said May 11th. That's it, because, what I already knew and everything. And then the Lord's showing me this, I think. I mean, to confirm it with 2 license plates and everything, I'm like, May 11th. My twins were born on May 10th, and they came home May 11th from the hospital. They came home. Or when we go home, we're going out. Or the 2 will be born on 11/5. So check this out. So my twins were born on 5/10. Backwards, take away the 0, that's January 5th. For the other way is they came home on 5/11. Backwards, that's January hidden, the 11th month, 5. I'm like, what the heck? And that's what happened. They were born on, I was off by 1 day because I thought he was telling me they were going to be born on May 11th, but no, they were born on May 10th, came home May 11th. So he was telling me when I was going to be born in heaven. Now, whether this pans out to be exactly what I think it is right now, we'll see. But what it looks like, I think I've nailed it, maybe. Okay? And I'm proving it by the 28 days and weeks later and all this. And my iPad Go and all this stuff I know, I'm blown away. So now more confirmation of this is insane. Okay? And then, so this was maybe a year and a half ago or something. I end up, and my friend of mine, hey Jeff, hey brother, when you're watching this, he's really into Strong's numbers and a lot of this, what he was at the time. And I wasn't so into him. Like, people were saying, oh, Strong's numbers, they mean stuff. And there's a lot of, God can give you messages through Strong's numbers and all that kind of Strong's concordance, which, each word in the Bible has a number to it. It's all numbered, and then it has the definition and everything, and a concordance and all that, if you don't know. But so I wasn't really too super into that until this. And then after that, the Lord showed me so much stuff through Strong's numbers I can't even say. But so I wasn't totally into it or anything. But he mentioned that I should look 5'11", because that was my experience, and that's when my twins came home. He said I should look it up in Strong's. So I did, and I could not believe what I found. Okay, and so remember, 5'11" is 11.5 backwards, I'm saying, okay? Or you can even look at it as the 5th of January. So that way, look at it that way, 5th of January, if this is what I'm interpreting it right as. But the fact of what this 5'11" means is crazy. So 5'11" is El Kwana in Hebrew, and that means, okay, I'll tell you what it means in a second. I guess I didn't put it in there. And then 5'11" in Greek is anoteros, okay? Anoteros, okay? So what do these mean? It's a message, and both of them are a message, and they're in order, and I could not believe it. You know, Hebrew Bibles is before the Greek Bible in the Bible that you read, right? The Hebrew words are before the Greek words in the New Testament, Hebrew in the Old Testament, and so this is an order. And so El Kwana means God has taken his possession, and then anoteros in Greek means to a higher place. And when I saw that, I couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. Could not believe it. Because we're his possessions, and he's paid a price for us. And 5'11" may be the 5th of January. Whatever it is, it's a day coming, and it's not too far away. And it just so happens to be that when they were going to jab children, the next level was from 5 to 11. And they did it on 11.5. Give me a break. You believe that? I got some swampland in Florida that I'd like to sell you. Okay? Or some oceanfront property in Arizona, as the song goes. Real cheap. I'll sell it real cheap to you. Real cheap. If you believe that. You think this is all coincidence? Wake up, please. For your own good. Because God has taken his possession to a higher place is the message in that. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And that is the day they came into the world, which is a symbol of when the Antichrist and the man-child is going to be born. The twin birth, as I've been saying for like 3+ years. Are you kidding me? Okay, last bit here. Remember I said that that plate looked like California? It reminded me, and even recently, again, it reminded me of Back to the Future, because At a Time was from California. And the Lord does this. He reminds me. He puts it in my head, right? And so California At a Time. And he just said, crack this right now. And this was the other day, 2 days ago. And I'm like, okay. What am I cracking? And this is how this goes. He goes, crack this. Or you say, hey, there's something here. And then immediately, a lot of times I know what it is, or I know something's going to be here because of what he says. So he said, crack this right now. So I go, boom. So I go, At a Time. And I just think about it a little bit. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what it is. Are you ready? Are you ready? Buckle up, Buttercup, right now. Are you ready? Out of Time backwards is EMITATUO. Okay, backwards. Just take the words, just do it backwards. Okay, what is it? Okay, so, bam, ready? E is 5th letter of the alphabet, M is the 13th, I is the 9th, T is the 20th, A is the 1st, T is the 20th, U is the 21st, O is the 15th letter of the alphabet. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Here we go. 5 plus 1 plus 3 is 9. Now, I'm going to take this 9 away. You can take any 9s away. I could take this 9 away if I wanted to, because 5 plus 1 plus 3 is 9. But in this case, I can kind of look at a couple things and go, okay, this doesn't make sense to do that. But in this case, I'm going to take this 9 away. So right now, I'm going to go 5 plus 1 plus 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11. I'm going to bring that down, 11. And then I've said 1,000 times in my videos that a 1 can be a 1 or a slash. And that's one of the ways they hide them. So a 1 in this case is a slash. And then this is super obvious right here, 2021. Are you kidding me? 2021. And then because this one's a slash, this one's a slash, and then we have 5. And I put a 14 down there for a reason for a second. But look, 11th month, 2021, 5th day. January 2021, the 5th. We're out of time. And it's not just the 5th, it's the 5th day, or it's, the reason I have a 14 down there is because January 14th is a 5th day as well, because 1 plus 4 is 5. And I think it's more about that. But you add a time for the first attack on the 5th of January, if I'm right about the time frame. Again, if. I've never said I know. Or never say I'm prophesying anything or anything like that with that. Nothing with those dates. Nothing. I'm guessing. And I'm bringing you a massively compelling argument with this video. Am I not? And if I'm not to you, then just go find somebody else. Go somewhere else. Go watch some, go watch this or that. Go watch Tweedledee and Tweedledum take on the world or whatever. I don't know, whatever. But the 14th is January 14th, and that's also 1 plus 4 is 5. And I guarantee you, United States is out of time at that point. It's done. It's cooked. It's blown up to smithereens, never to return ever again. Babylon will never return in any semblance, in any form. It's going to be a desolate land. Read the Bible like I have for 30 years. It's going to be a desolate land that would, people, if anybody visited here way after that, they'd be like, how, there was something here? Watch all the worst movies about it. Anyway, so that is insane that that's in there like that. There's no way that could be like that. I mean, look at the 2021 in your face. Sorry, but man, and with a little bit of prompting from the Lord and understanding from the Lord, it's right there. Now, if it's the exact interpretation of January 5th, 2021, I don't see how it couldn't be. I mean, crazy. Okay, so what I'm kind of really making it clear here is that it's the 11th month and it's the 5th day of 2021. Again, remember, because January being the 11th month is still in 2021. I had a brain fart for a second. I'm like, okay, how does that make sense? Yeah, January is still the 11th month, and then February is the 12th month, would be of 2021 still, and then March would be the first month of 2022. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Sometimes I even forget myself because some of the stuff's so contrived. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. And then so I'm showing you 11/14 or January 14th is also the 5th 11/5 as well. So that would be, at that point, United States is completely out of time. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so moving on. So then I want to make a point as well with this too. Again, with the same date that I was shown, I was given the exact date, 25 days from my dream. And then this is when these guys came together and shown that this was and here's another evidence of that. So of the 14th, for example, the 14th being the destruction day, the last day being the 5th day again, because 14 is 1 plus 4 is 5. Here you got 9/23/2015. Okay. That's when those nugget buckets met. Okay. September 23rd, 2015 to January 14th is 2,306 days. Why does that mean anything? Again, first of all, we have Obama. Remember, Obama was 623 or 236 right here. You see right there. Has something to do with Obama. Both do. He's meeting with the Pope right there, and then he's going to be basically shown to the world on that day. And that's the United States is going to be completely destroyed, and he's going to somehow be shown, and it's his birth. He's going to be revealed to the world on that day, which is 23/6 or 6/23 backwards in the sense. Because you can just read it this way. You can literally, if you start on this side, 6, and then forget this, or just read it this way, 6, and then 23. And I showed you that that's him in so many ways. Okay, so that proves that. So why also is that? I found this in iPad Goat a couple years ago, and it just hit so much. So this is the scene, not only for the 4th of July, which is a fireworks day, but also for the last day, which is New Year's Day. Okay, so I'm saying the 14th of January. If you equate it out, 14th of January on the Gregorian is going to be the first day of January on the Julian calendar. Okay, so this is New Year's basically, right? New Year's celebration, right? So this is destruction. This is 4th of July and New Year's in one, and he's got a party favor that this the skullduggery, or you could even say, this is the Haitian voodoo god Baron Samedi. which is also, it's Obama, because the boy that's wrapped up in bandages earlier he's got bandages just like this, and it's him basically for a lot of ways I'm not getting into right now. But anyway, so that is the final destruction of the United States on the hidden New Year's Eve, or hidden New Year's, which is January 13th going to the 14th. Okay, and that's showing here. It's right in here. In fact, right up in here, I found this, and I was like, I found several numbers in here, a few 923s and such in these numbers, and I found one that really stuck out. It was the biggest one right up in here, and if I turn it upside down and backwards, you can see it here. It's right here. And I've shared this before. It's a big 236. 236. You can see how it is right there. It's a big 236. In fact, it's got like 923 across here and whatever, but it was a big 236. Now, what is that? See that? Elite don't count zeros. So that's a massive coincidence as well, right? So basically, like I said, from this date, which sealed the end of the United States, exactly 2,306 days later is 623. If you just look at it, read it backwards, 6, and then you don't read the 0, and then you read 23, 6, 0, and then 26, 23, which is, I've shown as Obama in many ways. Okay, and that's him right there, dead, and then he's going to come back to life to the world right after that, right after the explosions, everything else. And that just happens to be hiding 236, and without the 0, 2,306 days. I don't think so. Boom. There you go. And all the other evidence I brought you. So anyway, we're going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for, all your prayers. Thank you for share this with as many people as you can. Please, I beg you, before this stuff starts happening. We're just a few days away from this as I'm recording this. This is the 29th of December. Put this out there. Even if you have to say this guy's a crazy guy, that's, don't even come off that you agree with me necessarily or whatever, and just get it in front of as many people as you can. I'm telling you, it's going to be rewards eventually. Anyway, and then if you're able to give, I really appreciate it. I could use a little bit of funds right now, of course. Holidays, went through the holidays, all that kind of stuff. We can only do so much, of course, but people don't give as much in the holidays and all that stuff, of course. So because of what's going on, if you're able to, please. And if this goes a little bit longer, then I'm gonna have to rethink all this stuff, and I'm gonna really need the funds. But I'm hoping everything's all fine, and we're about to, start seeing evidence on the 1st. So, and that's going to be a big telltale sign of all this. So, but anyway, this is mind-blowing stuff the Lord's been revealing. Hopefully you've been mind-blown. If you're able to give, the description box below has got the PayPal link, or P.O. Box, or even Zelle if you want to pay that way. That's completely free. It's what PayPal should be. It's free completely. It doesn't cost anything. Anyway, if you're able to give, please, we could really use it. Thank you so much. And again, I just so appreciate all your support, the prayers, the sharing the videos. Please thumbs up, even though I should say that here in a second in my outro or whatever it's called. So thank you so much. Hopefully this blew your mind. Share this with people. This whole thing about these different 28 days and weeks later thing, I mean, it is phenomenal. That's what they're programming. I really think it might be finally nailed. And these two calendars, especially, also the the two calendars, the Roman and the Julian, really, set this up hidden, to the masses. So, and it really makes the most sense of anything I've ever seen. So, I'll leave it at that. So this is Exalted Lamb 1, over and out. God bless you.